Episode 3. We're on episode 3 already. It's kind of going pretty quick. Appreciate everyone coming through. I got a fun night for you guys tonight. We are going to be talking competitive scene, stage scene. So all my stage guys out there, we're going to be talking about stage tonight. We're going to be bringing on Fanta, Dnell, and Lai. So two Xbox guys, I guess myself and Dnell, two PlayStation guys with Fanta and Lai. So going to have some good conversations tonight talking about stage and 2K25, what we think, how stage is now compared to how it was back in the day. We're going to talk about who we feel are some of the best stage players ever. Like, what is our Mt Rushmore of stage players? We'll talk about like what we feel like are, different lineup restrictions this year. I'll break some tournament info for you guys that we're planning on having this year. And then it'll be like an open-ended conversation. So you guys feel free to jump into the chat, ask questions, spark different topics within the stage community that you want to talk about. And we'll cover as much as possible. So going to be a fun, loaded night. After the stage segment, we're going to go into a little bit of our sports segment. Like I told you guys that we're going to be doing towards the end of most podcasts. So we'll have my boy Zach coming on around maybe 8:30, 8:45 to talk about the upcoming UFC card this weekend. So it's Sean O'Malley's fighting this weekend at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So Zach will come on to talk about that card with you guys, talk about different picks that he likes if you guys are bettors. He's a big UFC guy, so I think if you guys are UFC people, you'll look forward to that. On top of that, we're bringing in one of my boys that is a good friend of mine to talk about NFL and college. So he has like a whole betting Discord, all that type of stuff. So we'll give you guys like free access to the Discord if it's something that you guys are interested in. We'll talk about, it's now college week 3. So week 3 of college games, what we, some of the more premier matchups, who we like in those matchups, our picks for those matchups, as well as week 2 of the NFL. So we'll talk about those as well, and then we'll do maybe a little bit of a recap on last week's games on top of that. So fun fulfilled night. It should be an interesting one. Like I said, if you guys haven't been here and seen an episode yet, we plan on doing this all throughout the year. Schedule looking like it's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays. Originally, we were doing 6 o'clock, but we're going to adjust that to 7 o'clock. So we're looking at around like 7 to 9 p.m. roughly Tuesdays and Fridays. Topics will vary all throughout the year. So right now, obviously, we're leaning heavy on 2K25 with it just being released. So different topics across the board. So if you guys missed episode 1 and missed episode 2, we have the full episodes on YouTube that you guys can check out. Mods !SND in the chat for all the links to the socials. You guys do me a favor, even if it's just one of the pages, go drop a sub, go drop a follow, whatever the case may be. It really does mean a lot. We have TikTok, we have IG, we have YouTube. So we'll have full rebroadcast posted on YouTube of full episodes in case you missed the live episodes on Twitch. We'll have clips going out the week on Instagram, Reels, TikTok, and IG. Not IG, but YouTube Shorts. So YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikTok all throughout the week. So make sure you guys are following us on all the social platforms to stay up to date with what we're talking about, what we got going on. Have a pretty special episode planned for you guys next week. Not going to break too much about it yet, but it's going to be a good one. So you guys are going to make sure you're going to be here next Tuesday. I'll just give you guys like the quick overview. So we will be talking about the 2K League, what, my interpretation of what happened with the 2K League, where it's going, etc. We'll have some pretty special guests on for that one. So if you guys are 2K League guys, 2K League players, former 2K League players, whatever the case may be, that will be a fun one to be a part of. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that one. So we're going to bring these guys in within the next 5 to 10 minutes or say I know live streaming, fan is streaming, so it may not be right on time, unfortunately. Hopefully they got everything ready to go and they can join on time, but we'll see what they got going on. So but yeah, other than that, guys, what's everyone's thoughts so far about 2K25? What do you guys like? What do you guys don't like? We talked about it a lot in the former episodes. It's weird. Like for me, I think it's a good game. It's like I'm having fun on the game, but I don't know if I'm having fun on the game because it's new or because it's decent, I will say, like, I really wish they just kept OG Parks because it just had a different feel to it when we were playing in Flyers. Like I could play in Flyers like all day, so that was a ton of fun. So I'm really looking forward to like when they drop the next park. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Rivet. Then they'll go like Rivet, probably Sunset last because Sunset was like the most hype. But overall, like I think the gameplay is not bad. Obviously, there's some fluky shit, but it's not terrible. It's weird. It's like it's weird. Like it's fun. It's not great, but it's not bad. So I'm still feeling it out. But shooting's pretty inconsistent. And speed boosting needs to be buffed a bit. Yeah, I mean, there's little tweaks that they could do. I honestly think like, I don't know. Call me crazy. Like I don't hate how the shooting is. Like I see the frustration with it. I have games where like I'll go 4 for 5, 5 for 6, whatever, and then I'll have games where I'm like 1 for 6. So like I see the frustration in it, but I almost like it because in like the past past years, I feel like it was just so easy to shoot, and I don't know if I want that again. It's crazy though because like when we play Park, like even when I'm in Discord playing Park with like Greens or whoever, like it feels like the bots in Park never miss. But like the good players always miss. It's like it's kind of a weird thing. It's like I'll see bots doing like Dirk post fadeaways and I'm just smoking wide open threes. So still feeling it out, but I do like some of the stuff they added. Like I honestly don't think like the Rise and Elite parks are that bad. It's just they don't hit the same as the old parks. Proving Grounds is a pretty cool concept. It could be, I think, optimized a little bit better. I think like it gets a little. It's not as like, I don't know if rewarding is the word, but it's definitely a good concept. I think they did the right thing by bringing it in. So it'd be cool to see that get optimized a little bit more as we go. But yeah, I mean, I haven't touched Pro-Am. I haven't touched stage yet. Don't really plan on playing much stage this year, just because like I think it would drive me absolutely insane, and I don't know if I want to deal with that stress. So, okay, cool. So it looks like Dnell's here already, guys. So we'll bring in Dnell first to just chat a little bit before Lai and Fanta join. I obviously expected Lai and Fanta to be a little late just because they're streaming and whatnot. So we'll bring in Dnell to talk about just like, initial thoughts on 2K25 and other topics leading up, and then we'll jump into the stage conversation once all these guys join. Dnell, my boy, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yo, what's poppin', bro?
My guy.
Can you
We're
hear
waiting
me?
on. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I bet. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. So we're waiting on Lai and Fanta, which is not too much of a surprise. Like, you know how that goes. So they'll be here
Yeah.
soon. But before they join, like, quick rundown. Like, I wanted to have a little bit of like a split conversation here. Okay. So, like, two PS5 guys with Fanta and Lai, two of the biggest PS5 stage streamers. And then I wanted someone to represent Xbox. So I felt like you were a good person to represent Xbox. Because if we look back on it, I mean, I met you probably 2K19, maybe somewhere like that.
19,
I
yeah.
think 19 is when I met you. So like there really hasn't been a big Xbox stage presence streamer wise since then. I would say maybe like me, you. I mean, shit. Outside of that, it's pretty hard to like
Are we talking about
pinpoint. Maybe
creators?
yeah. I mean, just like creators, competitive players. Like who was like on Xbox playing comp stage and streaming? It was like me, you, OMG for a little bit.
OMG for it, yeah, OMG for a while. Comp
That's
stage
like
that
it.
was streaming. Xbox didn't really stream, bro. And I'm
That's
gonna
what I'm
leave that
saying.
conversation for later on. But bro, if you look at Xbox and PlayStation, I think Xbox got better players, but PlayStation, those guys stream, bro. Honestly,
Yeah,
they stream
yeah, no,
crazy.
no, no, for
All
sure,
everybody over there stream.
for sure they do, and that's probably why like they get more exposure on the stage side and on that end because they are like live 10, 12 hours a day. So we'll dive into that more when they get there. But I wanted to bring you in to be like that representative. So me and you kind of versus Fanta and Lai on that discussion. So we'll
Pretty
get
much.
to that when they join. But other than that, like we'll talk about 2K25 a little bit. Like I told you guys in the chat before you joined, like I want this to be completely opened, no filter. This is not an interview. This is like me and you just chatting in Discord, shooting the shits. Like I don't care, like whatever take you
For
want,
sure,
whatever
bro.
you want to say, like feel free to do your thing. So overall, like I know me and you've played twos a little bit. We were running it up on twos. Like, what is your overall thought on 2K25 compared to like the last couple years? Like, where would you rank it? How does it sit for you right now?
Right now, if we talking about the last 2Ks, it's the best one since 20, in my opinion. 24
Mm-hmm.
was so trash, bro. The
Yeah,
only reason
yeah,
I was streaming 24 was because I was simply getting paid for it. I'm being completely honest with you.
right,
I would get
right.
on wager. I got my sponsorships and my partnerships and everything. But if it wasn't for that, bro, I would never touch that game.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
but I think they did a great job. I think my biggest thing with the 2K community, as far as the devs and Ronnie and them, they got to do a better job at being more active with the community. And I think that's what they're doing really good right now. I think they're doing a great job with interactions on Twitter, doing giveaways and everything in that lane right there.
Yep.
But that's been an issue with them for the last couple years. They would hype up the game come out, we talk about what's wrong. They drop one patch and then they disappear. But now they're doing a good job with that. So
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man, because we go through this cycle so much, and we've been a part of the 2K community for so long, and like as much as I'll have a year where I'm like, yeah, man, like they're not getting me, like they always reel me back in, and it's
every
because they
time.
are good at marketing, they are good at trailers, like they do pull you back in, and there's always that sliver of hope of like, okay, is this going to be the 2K that like brings it back? Like there's always that like little sliver of hope. So, I mean, I will say like, I agree with you. Like, I think it is the better 2K in the past couple years. 24 was rough, especially for me. I played maybe the first month or two and it was like, okay, fuck this. I'm checked off this. Like, I feel for you guys, like you guys that like have been stuck to the content grind for as long as you have and have to like make it through those years, bro. Cause like I would go insane trying to do it. It's like one of the hardest things to do. But I do like it, man. There's a few things I wish that they would just optimize because I feel like it has the potential to be really, really good. I honestly don't mind the gameplay. The gameplay is fine to me. I like the defense. You're not sliding around. It doesn't feel shitty on that end, which I like. And I used to hate that. I mean, like go dating back to like 2K21 current gen, like that sliding around and shit was like the worst, especially as like a defender like yourself and me. Like I couldn't stand that type of shit. So it's nice to have that balance now. Right. It's hard. It was hard, bro. It was hard. So it's nice to have that balance now. I will say, like, it sucks a little bit that they started the year with Old Town and then now it's gone because, like, it's almost like my standards were so high when Old Town came out that now it's like, okay, like, I just got to go back to fucking.
And it's so funny that you say that, right? I was just complaining to my stream and to a couple of YouTubers and streamers. I'm like, bro, how the hell my park 2K16 Rivet, they give us a new Rivet City for the winning of the affiliations, the biggest park ever. By the way, park scene, there's been a lot of parks. 2K16 new Rivet City is by far the best product they ever showed the park. And you give it to my team for 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? You gave us that's our part that you gave to a completely different mode for what?
Yeah, that is, that is a valid point. And like I mentioned that too, like when I first saw that. And the only thing I can think of, I mean, honestly, the only reason I can think of that is like it's a selling point, like to try to get more people into my team to spend more money. I mean, I don't understand it. Like it is a head scratcher, bro, because it's like they know what we want. They ask for it, or we ask for it. They give us a little bit of it, and they just take it right away, and they give it to a game mode that doesn't give two shits about it. So it's tough. It's tough. All right, so Lie's here also. We'll go ahead and pull in Lie, get Lie's thoughts on 2K25 before Fanta joins, and then we'll jump into the stage talk. Again, Dnell, like feel free. Like it's not like yo Lie answer, Dnell answer. Like y'all can jump in as you go. Lie, can you hear me all right? I'm assuming no. Yo, Lie.
I can't hear him.
He's got to change his settings. You know him, bro. He's just a stage streamer. These guys, they just click live and he'll be live for 14 hours and he doesn't know how to work a computer. What's up,
bro? Hello.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Wait, that's him?
All right. You're good. All right. You're good then. All right. So, yo, real quick, we'll dive into the stage conversation once Fanta joins. Like, you know how he can be sometimes. So we'll give him a couple minutes. We talked with Dnell real quick about it. I want to talk to you about it. I know you've been playing the shit out of the game. You've been grinding the shit out of the game. So, like, overall, like, thoughts of 2K25. Like, and again, like I told Dnell, like, this is not a 2K League stream. This is not a filtered stream. This is like, I want real, like, opinions. Say whatever you want. There's no holding back. Like, obviously no TOS shit, but like non-filter. Like, what is your thoughts of 2K25 so far? Do you like it? Is it better than the past 2Ks a couple of years? Like, how do you feel about it so far?
I mean, to me, I feel like to be honest, this game, it's not bad, but like, I always rated a 6 because it's like we win and shooting 4 for 15. Like I feel like everybody's winning shooting 4 for 15. But I also feel like last year we got blessed with the dribbling, like the left stick cancel, the L2 cancel. Like you could L2 cancel a little bit in this 2K, but like I feel like the dribbling was better. I don't know. Like I feel like it's a 6. Like it's definitely going. I feel like it's going to die out a little bit.
I agree with you. Mar, Fanta said he joined, so let me know. I agree with you. It's weird to me. Like, I literally said the same thing before you joined. I was like, it's not bad, but it's not good. Like, I don't know. Like, I can play it, but I don't love it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird for me. It's not bad. It's not good. Right. I don't know. Like, I guess we'll see how it develops. Like, as more we play it. I'll say like it looks like you guards are starting to get a little bit more comfortable. Like, I was playing with greens last night, and like the first day, bro, it was horrendous. I mean, like I had Crucify, I had Unguardable, one of the best 2K League guards, and like playing twos, shooting like 6 for 20, 6 for 25. Like it was literally hell in a cell. and now Greens is starting like L2 cancel. His movement is starting to look pretty good. He's getting like a little bit of a quick stop down. Like guards are starting to figure out where they can
it's not even
fade and
movement
shit.
now though. I feel like I get open now, but you don't know what timing they're about to throw at you. Like last year, I figured like you can kind of guess what you're gonna get at which side of the court. But like this time, they gonna give you a slightly early, then just speed it up to a slightly late on the same shot you just shot.
Right. Yeah,
Facts.
it's tough. I mean, I've seen lately like you've been in the stage obviously a lot.
Yeah, I can't. I see people playing a proving ground. I can't. I just love stage too much. Like I just have
Proving
to be on the
ground
10K.
trash, bro.
Yeah,
They didn't execute it correctly. I'm be honest, like bro, I've been losing my mind. I lowered in on a 1v1 court. I'm a 6'3". I'm playing against a damn build a whole foot taller than me. They 7'3". I'm hey, Tots, the nigga averaged 18 boards on the stat sheet. I'm like, man.
but that was to be, but that was to be expected though. Like let's be real, like that was to be expected though. Like if you're gonna load in a 1-on-1, like you're gonna play straight
18
post-score
boards.
Hey man. I mean, I don't like. Listen, I know where to step. I know where to step foot in. You know what I mean? I'm not stepping foot in that 1v1 shit. I already know what's popping out in the 1v1 shit. So I'm not touching that. I'll say like, I think the concept of Proving Grounds is good. I think it was good to like bring in something new and refreshing. But like I mentioned before the game dropped, the only way that shit's gonna be good is if it's executed the right way. So like one, I'm a big advocate, and I'm curious on how you guys think about it. Like I look at Proving Grounds like I look at stage lie. Like for me, it's like there should be lineup restrictions, almost like Call of Duty, right? Like so in Call of Duty ranked, like there's certain guns you can run, there's certain attachments you can have on certain guns. Like that's how I would execute Proving Grounds for 2K. Like I wouldn't allow double centers, or I wouldn't allow multiple locks, or like I wouldn't allow like shit like that to be able to like load in together on Proving Grounds, which I knew that was just going to be too advanced for 2K. And then on top of that, I don't think like the rewards are even worth grinding to be like gold or top rep or whatever the fuck the case is. Like, what do you get? Like 25% rep or some shit? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Here's the thing,
worth it. Don't get me started on that. The rep. Don't get me started on the rep. I'm starter. I'm starter 2 getting 0.2 a game.
No, that's insane.
Like you want me to grind a legend 5?
Wow, fuck no, bro.
0.2 a game? Wait, what? Like I'm just never reaching it. Yo, I'm finna have 5 people on my account. Literally, I'm finna have 5 people. Everybody. No,
that's shift. Actually no, yo, bro.
You know what the problem with the Proving Grounds though is? It's like what? So here's the issue with 2K right now, and it shouldn't be like this in a casual mode, but for ranked modes, I kind of understand it. We load in the part. Every time you load in the part, they skill based match make the shit out of you. It's like you're not it's not an open part. You're not loading with 70 overalls. If you were 99 with a red border, you're gonna be in the part with a bunch of red borders. And the reason why the Proving Ground mode is not valid, you load in and it's still matchmaking you with other people like around your overall. It should be basing it around your rank. So I'm loading in. I'm a bronze. I haven't ran into like no brown 60 overalls, nothing. I'm loading it is straight 99 overalls, but we're bronze. Where are the bronze players? Right. It's still matchmaking us against specific overalls and categories.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because that's one thing I mentioned too going into this year was like if they're gonna have that, it has to have some sort of like a limitation to like what you can search with, right? So like if Fanta I think is like what, second or first, if I'm bronze, like I shouldn't even be able to search on his team with him. Like you should have to be within like a rank or 2 of like your highest rank in order to search together. So like that's the way Call of Duty is, right? So like if I'm the highest rank in Call of Duty,
like top 250,
you can't just be like you can't just be a brand new account and search with me. You have to get at least within like a rank or 2 of my rank to search with me. But again, like that's me asking a lot of 2K, which I just, over the years I've learned to be let down on that end. So I'm just, it is what it is on that end. So I've told myself this year, I am literally going to be feet up, kick back, playing park, chilling, not stressing. And unfortunately that shit is skill-based matchmaking too. So at 3 a.m. when I'm playing with IRLs, I'm playing sweat hawks that are doing Dirk fadeaways in park. So, again, game's not bad. It's not great. I will say it's better than 2K24, which gives me a little bit of hope for you guys who are streaming 10, 12 hours a day to not go crazy. The problem is, like, do we feel like there's going to be longevity, or is it the same thing over and over? Is it, do we have 2-3 months of this and you guys have to maximize as much as possible, make as much money as you can in 2 to 3 months, and then just do what you can for the next 8, and then hopefully it's good next year. Like, because that's ultimately what it feels like it's going to be to me.
I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm already seeing some reruns, so I don't know.
I have seen some reruns.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't have a rerun on yet. I feel like I know who Dnell talking about. I feel like I know who he's talking about. But
we doing reruns. I know, Todd.
I feel like I know who he's talking.
Twitch reruns, so with.
Can I air somebody out? I just air them out, bro.
Air it out.
Yo, shit, bro.
No, I'm just saying. If you see the community rerun, if you see the community rerun, and it's over with, Talk. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, that's one thing. Yo, that is. Listen, that's a good point. Fan is trying to join. I think he's having a little technical issues, but Mars gonna get him set up. That's a good point, bro. Like, we all come from streaming. Like, live. When did you first start streaming? Was it 2K18, 19?
I was about my first year with 2K18, but when I started streaming, it was 2K19.
Yeah, okay, that's what I remember. So, like, I started in 17. Dnell, what were you, like 18 or 19?
18.
I think. Okay, so like we all, have years of experience. Like, one thing I want to mention, and like this goes out to everyone in the 2K community that streams 2K. Like, where the fuck is any of the pride? Like, there's no pride in this shit no more. Like, and I get it. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Listen, I'm not hating. Like, do what you got to do. Get your money.
Elaborate
I'm not pocket
that?
watching.
What you mean no pride?
I'll elaborate. But come on, bro. Like, back in the day, like now, every fucking kid is view botting. Every fucking kid is running reruns. It's like, bro, where the fuck is the pride? There's no pride in this shit at all.
You know what's
bro.
crazy though? I don't even have a problem with reruns. It's when you do it when the stream first come on. Like, you can get 6+ hours out the way for your people, like before you know what I'm saying? Before you start the rerun. Like, it don't hurt to do 6 hours or 5 hours or something. Right. Get some type of content in.
Right. I agree with that. What I'll say too is, like, if you're good, I think 100% they are. 100% they are. Bro, I'm not even gonna call names, but I seen a rerun last year where that shit was in the menu. That bitch was in the menu page for like 2 hours with 800 in it.
Yo, Tox, I seen All Hell Babe. All Hell Babe, that was his Twitch before it got packed. I seen All Hell Babe. He had coming back sleep stream. Like, it was real people in there. His title was like real like real people was in there. He talking about sleep stream coming right back. Coming right back to who?
Bro, it's insane to me, bro. It's and like this whole, like, I won't touch on it too much because I don't have too much knowledge, but this whole idea of, like, I think a lot of people thought that they could view bot and then run max ads and like get max payout, and like I think people realize that's probably not how it works. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you get some sort of payout, but like, again, not pocket watching people. But and someone in my chat said, "Pride, you're talking to a cheater," so we know who he's talking about. I mean, bro, listen, it's like I don't care about someone zinning in the game at the end of the year because the game is dog shit and they're just doing something for fun to just like keep their sanity and make money streaming. Like, I can't blame someone for that. Like, if the game is going to be shit and the product is shit and like they have the ability, like, and on top of it, it's like, but last year was either cheat or get cheated. So it's like,
right.
I don't blame you. Because what the fuck? God, like, I'm not going to sit there and stream 6 hours a day just getting getting cheated.
Imagine loading up 6 hours a day. I got fed up. I remember this stream perfectly. I got fed up. Delayed X, loading to the stage, greening everything, every smother, everything it is. I left my setup, went to Philly, offer up, got my shit, everything I needed. Then came back, sparked that joint up. I was ready.
Do you guys think that we'll run into that issue this year?
The problem
now they got the shot timing though.
I don't know, bro. It's sad, but I feel like they was making so much money off it. They probably will. Like, the people that was doing, they was making so much money off it. They probably will try to find something.
I mean, you guys like let's just be real. Like, there is some fucking nerd in his crib right now spending 10 hours a day trying to hawk some fucking script that he's gonna sell to everyone and make money. Like, I mean, it's almost as bad. I won't say it's as bad, but what was the kid's name that was booting the stage and we had to pay him to stop?
Was it WNS?
Yeah, that motherfucker. Like, that might have been the darkest time I ever
I ain't
seen
gonna lie,
in
that
2K
was my
history.
guy though. I ain't gonna lie, that was my guy. Whenever I lost
No,
on the
yeah,
10K
well, we know
stage
you.
court,
You. I don't know what you had going on in the back end, but you were safe.
yeah,
No one else was
that's my
safe, bro.
guy. Yo, didn't he would load up in the stage from and see me lose? He would just boot the whole court so I could just get right back off of my stream.
Yo,
Like,
Listen,
you know the whole reason I came to
I,
PlayStation in the first place, bro. Tox, do you remember 2K20 when where Resolver was on the internet and
oh, bro,
everybody
that
that
shit
was in
was
Xbox,
terrible.
if you didn't blacklist your name, you was getting fried?
You were getting fried every time. You're getting fried.
No,
If
I
you
was
didn't
no.
blacklist your
I
name,
wasn't
it
getting
was
fried.
post.
I wasn't getting fried, but whoever was playing against me on stream got fried every time. I was playing against straight AIs on stream.
Yeah, no, there's been some dark times in the stage community. I will say that WNS one is probably the darkest. And now that I look back at it, I regret trying to be the hero of that era because I remember going on stream one day and saying to him like, "Eat a dick," like I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm not paying you. Blah 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 blah. And he just made my life fucking hell for like probably a couple weeks. I mean, he went as far as like screenshotting me in a Twitch chat and photoshopped me saying the N-word in a Twitch chat and tagged the 2K League, tagged the NBA. Like that guy that's a devious guy right there. So um I don't think I was able to play stage for at least like a month until he disappeared for a little bit. So hopefully we don't see that again because that was probably one of the darkest times that I can remember. So outside of that, I think Fanta's about to join here in a second. Curious for your opinion on this, just because like you were close to it a little bit, and this episode isn't focused on that, but I'm just curious to hear your opinion. So like, obviously you've heard the news of the 2K League, and like you heard it's going in a different direction, and we don't know what that direction is going to be. Like for you at least, like how was it competing in 3v3? I know the last year wasn't as good as the first year, but I'll say on my end, like the first year that you were a part of it, like y'all's team was probably like one of the most exciting to watch. Like I thought you guys in DC was lit, like against some of those teams. So like, what is like your thought process of the 2K League ending, and how was it for you like competing in that?
I feel like the 3v3 was fun, but I guess wasn't it because of they wasn't like bringing in viewership? What was it like? It was someone at that point or something like
Yeah,
that
I
they
mean,
wasn't doing?
I'm sure there's a bunch of different reasons, right? Like certain
Yeah,
numbers weren't hit, certain
I
amount of
mean,
revenue wasn't being brought in,
to me, it
whatever.
was to me it was kind of quilly. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? To me, I
Right.
don't know, but I mean, I had
Yeah.
my experiences, except for the thing that happened to me when I was going there the first year. You know
Oh
that was
yeah. We
kind
won't
of
talk on that. We know that. Yeah.
oh my goodness.
For sure. I'll say this, like I
I mean,
think
I'm good now,
I
but
agree.
you know.
Yeah, of course. I think like you make a good point, and it's like, okay, cool. You could bring him in. We'll jump right into it after this. I think like you make a good point. Like unless you're close to
Mm.
it, like I was or like you were competing in 3v3, like it is it's boring. Like there's not much to it. And like I don't know how they could have changed that. So it's it's unfortunate to see it go away because I think there was potential there, but like obviously you got to figure it out and shit, and it's hard to figure that out. So we'll see what ends up being this new look in the next year or whatever. But we'll talk about that in another episode. So, Fanta, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We can
Hello?
hear you
Can you hear
too. All
me?
right, cool. So, yeah. You're all good. All right, so we'll jump in. We're going to talk about stage here in a second. Fanta, I already talked to Lai. I already talked to Dnell about it. I know you've been playing a lot of 2K25, obviously, streaming, grinding content. What is your just overall initial thoughts about the game? Like, where do you rank it in the past couple years of games? Like, do you think it has more longevity this year? Like, where does it sit for you?
Honestly, it's kind of confusing, right? Because 2 days ago, I was very convinced that there's just absolutely like no green window. I still believe that like you could time your shot and just miss in this game. But 2 days ago, it was especially bad. Like I could not green in the slightest. I couldn't green anything. But like now I'm greening today, and it like completely changed my like outlook of the game. Of like I was calling it terrible yesterday. Now I'm greening today, and I'm learning some moves, and I'm like, okay, the game is actually fun. I'm having fun. I'm having fun on
Right.
stream. And then it's also mixed emotions from my chat to where like I see people who are just like devastated by this year's movement, and then I see people come into my chat and they're like, "This is the most fun I've had on 2K," and da 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 da.
Right.
So it's super confusing to know like what was a good move, what's a bad move. But I think in terms of longevity, that ultimately comes down to our community because if we call the game just ass and it's dead, like it's gonna die and it's gonna be ass. And I feel like that's proven and proven again in multiple 2Ks throughout the years because we had what 2K22 died relatively fast. I think that was a great game. When you talk about the last game, you could really dribble and have crazy movement, and that game died pretty fast. Damn near after your talks tourney. Like, what was the last tourney like after that like people cared about and the stage was lit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that it's really a community issue at this point. So it's like, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea if it's gonna last.
I agree. I mean, I think we all kind of had the same sentiment around it. Like Lai said the same thing. I said the same thing. Lai gave it a 6. I would say it's like a 6 or 7 also. And it's weird because like I enjoy it, but I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad. So it's like I don't know. Like it's fun some days, it's frustrating other days. Like in the beginning, I play a lot with Greens, obviously, like, and he's a big dribble head. Like in the beginning, it was rough. Like he couldn't move well, he was shooting terrible.
Miserable.
And I played him yesterday. And now he's starting to L2 cancel. His movement's looking pretty good. He's hitting fades. He's getting used to like quick stops. So I think it's not maybe there is just a bigger learning curve than we predicted, and it's making it better for some of the top players to like get used to it. I mean, we'll see over time. I think ultimately like they delivered on some good things. I like the proving grounds concept. I think like we talked about it a little bit. I think it could be optimized some more. I know you've been in that probably the most out of any of us. So overall, like, what do you think about proving grounds? Because like again, to me, the concept is good, but like I wish there was some more optimization to it. Like if you look at almost like a Call of Duty ranking system, I wish there was like a lineup restriction for proving grounds, like where it was only like comp lineups or whatever the case may be to make it more competitive. I'm so curious, like on your overall thoughts of proving grounds and that whole concept.
Right. I think that lineup restrictions would just be a little hard in terms of when you think about what Call of Duty does with GAs and CDL. Like those rules, those games are already in the game. You go into a custom game or whenever you go to competitive, you have like every gun unlocked and whatnot. So in order to do that, I feel like they'd have to like supply preset builds, which was like another good idea that some people just had about League Build, like introducing League Build to the general public so they could like play a ranked mode with the competitive League Build builds and go from there. But I can't see a way where like they could have build restrictions because the game's already like when you think about the average kid, like you already spend $200 on a build, like you're not going to go spend another $200 to go play comp. Like, you know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. But in terms of the format of the mode, I think that it's kind of hard because the player base is just not that huge and there's so many different things you could play in 2K. It's like you could go play on a beach court, you could go play in a park, you could go play in the theater, you could go play in 3v3 Pro-Am, you could go so many different like things that you could go play in. It's not multiplayer and then ranked. So like there's a huge player base to where I could be, let's say, example, Call of Duty players, Valorant players, like Immortal, Iridescent. If it would have been like that to where it's like you're actually only playing other Immortals and like straight like MMR and like or RR whatever the thing is, we wouldn't get any games. It's already like that. I think everybody's experiencing that. Like it might start off fun, but once you get into the higher ranks, you literally stop getting games completely if you like don't like close app every 2 seconds. So it's like
like I'm curious on your end. How long are you typically waiting for games?
Oh, I mean, if like it gets to a point where like it stalls and then I close app and then I'll load up and sometimes it'll start fast, sometimes it'll stall again and then I'll close app again and just wait. And then eventually, like once you get one game, if you don't walk out the tent, like you'll start consistently getting games back to back. But if I try to wait that stall out, I won't get a game for where I'm at. I'm number 1 rank. I'm like in the diamond thingy. Like I won't get a game like until the whole day until whoever number 2 or 3
are you
is.
Seeing? I'm curious too. Like at your level, are you seeing? Is there a matchup restriction on like who you're matching? Like, are you only matching like I don't know all the ranks, but like, are you only matching like plat and above, or like are you getting pulled into like whatever?
I'm getting pulled into whatever, and that's where I think that I think maybe that's what the closed app does. Like I think that maybe it's a bug. I don't know if it's something they're going to touch or like fix, but I for sure notice that like if I don't, when it does stall, right? Like when it stalls out, I think that's when it's searching for like ranked and matchmaking, and I won't get a game until I go play against a top 50 or a top. You know what I mean? Like somebody really high in the ranks. but that could take like 30 minutes. But if I keep closing app, eventually I'll start getting like bronze players, and it will consistently give me like normal
Yeah.
players. So
That's
I don't know.
interesting. I wonder if it's almost like reading, like when you first search, it's almost like saying you're 0-0, and then as you win, it's like taking your win-loss record, and then when you reset, it's resetting you back to like 0-0. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm curious, like
yeah. I
why
have
it
no
would be
idea.
doing that. So yeah, that's
I
that's
have no
that's
clue.
interesting. So all right, we'll jump into some stage talk here. What I want, like I said, and to you guys in the chat, like this is a complete open conversation. Like, don't feel like, okay, this is an interview type style. Oh, Vanna gotta go, Dino gotta go. Like, feel free to interrupt people. Like, feel free to give your honest, open opinion, non-filtered. So, we've had discussions over the years about stage. We talked about it a little bit, Fana, with Lai and Dino. So I'll kind of let you just take this one first until we jump into some of the other topics. Like, how do you think stage stacks up this year compared to other years? Like, do you think it's going to be, I guess, a competitive year of stage? Like, do you think it's a good game for stage, or like, how do you think the stage community overall like fares with 2K25?
I personally, I don't know, because I've been in the proving grounds the whole time, like trying to grind the number one thing. So I haven't touched stage at all, to be like completely honest. So I don't know what's going on in there. But I do like, just in terms of like stage as a community, I think they could drop like, I think they would have to drop like a current Jenny. It's kind of seems like the last time the stage has like been alive and lit for more than, let's say, a month or two, it was like was current gen games. I think that completely died
Yeah.
off in 21 next. In 22
Yeah.
current, people were playing, like wagers were going on. It was lit for 22 current, and then as soon as it like 22 current kind of died down and it went into like 22 next, like since then I haven't seen a next gen
Right.
stage game like the stage be lit for like more than a month. Like I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't
Right.
be, now that they've killed the movement and kind of what stage players love to do and live by. I couldn't see like the shit like being super lit this year, like past a month either, like realistically, because like I said, I think
Right.
it's a
Right.
community issue more than anything.
The
Yeah, I
2K
almost
League
feel like
killed
it
the
gets to the
stage
point. Why do you say that?
You said what, Dina?
because every stage player went to the league,
You're asking?
or every stage player end up shifting the pro-am to try to go to the league. Really think about how many
That's true.
stage players went to the league or try to go to the league.
I mean, I guess it's a valid point, but like if you look at most of like the big, like I guess the bigger stage players, and Lai and Fanta, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll speak for Xbox at least. Like they're like they still played stage, or like at least the bigger stage streamers on PS5 side like didn't really go for the league outside of like Fanta. I mean, Iggy Mo late, like 1 year, but like outside of that, I feel like most of those guys in that community, I guess, stayed there. I mean, I guess it's a good point, like because I think it got to a point for a lot of people in the community where the game, or at least the community, started getting dry, and it looked at as like, here's a for sure route of income to play the game, and a lot of people
Yes, exactly.
started to go
I,
that way. You know what I mean?
well, I think the two reasons is actually 2K League and Zens. I think those are the two biggest reasons. You got people that's frustrated that motherfuckers on the game cheating, and then you got everybody trying to go for the league and try to get paid because they're not making content on the game. But since they're already good at the
Right,
game, they might as well get paid for being good at the game. So those are
right,
the two biggest
right.
reasons why the stage is gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think it's a valid point because like, and I guess you could also say like the games have gotten worse over time also. So like that in a combination with the 2K League with the cheating, it all kind of goes hand in hand to like the downfall of stage. I'll say, and like Fanta, you can relate to this, and I think it's funny. And then Dino, feel free to jump in. Like it's funny to see the 2K League gone, and you see so many of the 2K League guys doing content. I mean, this is the most I've seen 2K League dudes stream YouTube videos, TikToks, etc. And
Oh
I get
yeah,
it
it's
because now
funny.
it's like
Yeah,
your
for
back's
sure.
against the wall. Like your back's against the wall now. You need a form of income, and you can't be complacent and just the guys most of the guys at least who are like, okay, they know are going to be retained every single year. They can't rely on that income anymore. So now they're trying to use their brand to now create content and get to a point where like you are,
Mhm.
or like all of us have gotten to. So it's interesting to see that. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think the combination of, obviously, I think cheating was a big one. I think the games over time have gotten worse. And then I think people's what's the right word I'm looking for? Their intentions or expectations, or their what they were looking to accomplish changed a little bit with the status of the game itself. So it'll be tough to get it back to the way
Yeah.
it used to be, but we'll see. Go ahead.
I personally don't think, like, to touch on what you were saying, I kind of disagree with Dnell as well in terms of just like thinking that it was like, I think that Zens did come about, the cheating did come about being a huge issue. Like if anything, if anything was to be it would be those Zens. And then, but I also don't think it was going for the league, because when you think about like what stages pre-draft, even before the league, like once upon a time, like it used to mean something to win on a 5K court. Like you think about like 2K19, like 2K, like if you are somebody who can actually be on the big court and stay on that big court, you have a platform and you're making a living if you decide to press go live. Like it was, the stage was that important. Like, and like now it's just like, who cares about being on a 10K court, like 5K court? You know what I mean? That's why, like, I think that kind of lost its value.
Because people are cheating.
And right, but even before that in 2K21, like after that, I think 2K21 current gen was the last time there was like, and Zens came out like way later in that game. 2K21 current gen was the last time you had.
Look at IQ thing.
Oh, that's true. Oh no, for sure. Oh yeah, but once again that died.
I was streaming 22 current gen. I was going crazy 22.
You don't remember, Fanta. You don't remember. 22 current gen was lit. Then it went dead. Everybody went to RP. Then everybody came back. Keith, IQ contained me. Everybody was wagering, and then everything shot back up. I think that shit would happen.
Was stage
right? But that was
your
stage
lit, or was wagers lit? Right.
Nah, I don't know if niggas remember, but it was stage was lit. I used to stream every morning against Shifty. I ain't like it was lit.
Yeah,
I used to pull a 1K.
Actually, I do remember.
Like 1K in like July.
X. Like, bro, there's numbers on 22 current gen. You got people averaging 500.
No, I think you're right. No, I do remember that. That's when like CLR was going crazy, right? Like that's when CLR came into the community, like that 22.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that. You're right.
I don't even want to get started with CLR, bro. I saw him at a 2K event.
Oh, I mean,
he came up, shook me and Justin hand, and disappeared.
I mean,
I don't know.
What was there pretext?
Well, I mean,
he was like mad. He was mad awkward. He came up in a hoodie. He was like a 2K league event in Philly. He came up, shook our hands.
Is that surprising though? Is that surprising though? Like Fanta knows firsthand. I was in a league. Fan was in a league. Like some of these guys are real life bots. I mean, it is what it is. Like they're real life.
Yo, Justin,
bots.
you remember that? Justin in my chat.
Hey, listen, we're not going to talk about
he came
Justin.
Up, shook
Justin's
hands.
a bot. No. Listen, we're not going to talk about Justin's a bot. Also, Justin is 100% a bot. Also, Justin at one point, I forgot what event it was. I think it was Philly when they had 3v3. We had like an eyeball 3v3 team, and I bought Justin and them like eyeball gear for the event. And Justin let someone use the backpack, and he was scared to even go back and ask for the backpack and gave the backpack away. Like, I mean, what kind of bot is that?
What?
Like, yeah, like he literally he let the kid borrow the backpack and didn't even go back up to him and ask for the backpack back because he's just a bot. I mean, it is what it is. I love the kid, good kid, but like a lot of these 2K kids are bots, man. So I'm not too surprised on that end. So
giving away free gear.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I told him fuck it, bro. At that point, like charge us the game. No more buying shit for those kids. So, let's talk about a little bit. We'll dive into like more of the stage talk. So, before we dive into it, I want to talk a little bit about like what I have planned this year for tournaments. And so, like, you guys will be first to know. And obviously, if anyone in your chat hears me, they'll be first to know. So, I know every year, like a lot of people look at me to do tournaments and try to like keep the stage lit, or at least have something to look forward to for you guys to like make money and compete. And obviously, it does good viewership wise. So now that I have no more obligations with 2K or the 2K League, I'm able to do more of that. Unfortunately, like over the past couple of years, I just had a lot of obligations, and like Fanta, you again can attest to a little bit more when you're under like a 2K League contract. Like there's certain things you can and can't do, and like it kind of got a little in the gray area. So I didn't want to mess with it too much. But this year we're gonna bring back consistent tournaments for you guys. We'll have an announcement coming out soon. What I will say, first tournament of the year is going to be in October. So be ready for that. Rules on that will come out soon. But what we're looking to do for you guys is every season, basically every 2K season, our plan is to have 3 tournaments through the season. So think of the first 2 tournaments as like a qualifier. So basically you'll compete in the first tournament and the second tournament. Each player will acquire points based on their placing, and then obviously like there'll be money attached to winning, but you'll acquire points by your placements in the first tournament and the second tournament.
So is it like 2K
let's say like
bracket style, like
In a sense, yeah. So like, let's say like, okay, Fanta, you're like, let's say you get first place in the first tournament, and then you keep your same team and you play in the second tournament. You're gonna have the first seed in the second tournament. So like, let's say Lai, you get second place, but like you drop Rel because you can't shoot, and you pick up someone else. Like you'll lose Rel's points. You understand? So like you might drop down to like
Right.
maybe the fifth or
So whoever
sixth or
you're picking
seventh
up,
seed.
you're getting their points with you.
Yes. So your points are gonna be attached to
Right.
you as a player. So
Okay, yeah,
wherever
that's
you
fire.
go, when those points are combined, whoever has like the highest combined points, that was how the seeding will be determined in tournament 2. So then for tournament 3, which will be the biggest and final tournament of the season, it's going to be an invite only tournament basically. So like, let's say I'll just give out, like, I don't know if it's going to be 16 or 32 yet, but like, let's say it's 16. The top 16 teams that are seeded by points will be invited to the third tournament, which would be a double elimination, biggest pot, etc. Like only for those teams that qualify for the third tournament. And we'll do those all throughout each season. So you guys will have active tournaments throughout the season. And we're going to be hosting it with I won't break the news yet, but we're going to be hosting it with a company who basically will run everything on the back end. So you guys will have like a Discord channel, you have a server to track points, like everything that you'll need will be in a one-stop location. So it's going to be much more organized. I think you guys will enjoy it. So to piggy bank off that, what I
Is
want to
this
talk
twos
to you
and
guys
threes?
about, it's going to be mainly threes, but I will have twos in it as well.
Right.
What I want to talk to you guys about, and just curious, like, I know Fanny, you haven't played stage, but you've played Proving Ground, so you have a good idea at least of like what a legitimate lineup looks like. What do you guys feel like is that legitimate lineup this year?
Ooh.
Just to give you my outlook real quick, like this is how I'm looking at things, right? I've always made it very comp friendly, right? So like always, okay, let's say 6'8" and above, or 6'6" and lower for locks, or whatever the case may be. This year, I'm gonna try to find that common ground where like we still allow some of like the content creator side to be involved, but not break that competitive credibility to where like we're seeing double centers or multiple locks or post scores, whatever that all that bullshit. So curious on your guys' end. Feel free to jump in wherever you guys want to jump in.
Yeah.
What to you like to you guys is like that lineup for stage that would be like a
Well,
tournament
So
legit
well, I
lineup?
think-
Center's got to be
Oh, go ahead.
6'9" and taller.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
what
everybody
Yeah, I
gotta
was
make
gonna
a
say
new
something.
build.
I was gonna
Everyone's
say
gonna have new
something.
builds.
I was gonna say something around that. I was gonna say because everybody's making 6'7" poppers, but there are insides in the stage like Rican. Rican's a popper, but he's easy.
But they're playing double centers, and it's just like,
Well, yeah. Not the double center though, but I do say 6'7" and like to like 6'9" maybe, or 6'9" and above or like that, because I know some people are 6'7" poppers. Like I play with 6'9" inside, so I don't know, but
I think
6'7"
I know
poppers.
some
people
Yeah,
are
are
6'7"
6'7"
poppers.
lot. That's
I
pretty much
think,
double.
I
That's
think,
pretty much
bro, I
double.
think. Go ahead, Fana.
I think before like this even becomes a thing, because I already see lockdowns trying to roach and do this. No 6'4" locks with Patty. I already see exactly like what direction people are trying to move with those 6'4" locks, and that
Yeah, that
That-
you
that-
got.
that-
Yeah. I ain't watching that. I
Yeah,
was gonna say
it's
I'm not
not.
watching that, buddy. I ain't gonna lie,
It's
buddy.
we're
You keep
not.
your
No,
putbacks off for
especially
the
with the
What am I- wait,
contests
what am I
in this
missing? What am I
game,
missing?
like. I said because
I
6'4"
I
locks are
ain't
about to
playing,
get
buddy.
Patty when they hit season 4 or whatever, like whatever it is.
Well, Fana, is
Like
Patty
6'5",
as
6'5". I
good?
think
Is
6.
Patty as good this year as it was like?
I have no
Do we
clue,
know
but I
yet?
don't think locks should be 6'4" in general.
Interesting. So if you had to say like a restriction for locks, like what 6'5" to 6'7"?
I don't
6'5"
think
and
6'4"
taller.
locks is a problem.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's where
Me
it gets-
personally, I don't.
You ain't never stuck one of them motherfuckers out the corner.
Nah, that's because y'all don't be putting no finishing on y'all build though.
Mm.
There's
Fuck
no way
finishing.
there's a
You need
6'4"
speed.
lockdown that's gonna be able to switch on the center. Just
Oh,
if
yes,
your
they
center brings
Yes,
out
they can.
legend
I
brick
mean,
wall,
I think they
no.
can,
If
bro.
your
I think
center
they
Yes,
brings
can.
out
they
a
can.
seven,
In this game,
alright,
in
so
this
why should I
game,
bring out a
yes, you
7
can.
center? No,
Bro,
a
I've
6'4"
played
now
with
sticking to
greens and
6'4"
seen.
for
I'm not
center.
gonna lie.
Hey,
like,
Leica,
I
that's
know-
what I'm saying, nigga. Yeah,
know-
all right, like that.
You know, you can do
I
that
think
this
they
year
can, bro.
because of the timing, the high risk layups in the stage, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I don't know. Like you
You'll get
did
a
could just
stop.
switch and make a miss.
On 7
I
footers?
don't know. Oh, I
And
mean,
then
bro, who the fuck's-
here's my only thing.
That's
Here's my
what I'm
only.
saying. I'm talking
Here's
about-
why
I'm talking
I'm
about the
saying that
7-footer.
though. The reason why I'm saying that the 6'4" lock thing, I think that the biggest like where 2K League went wrong and was just the most boring 3v3 game mode that's ever been presented in front of viewers is because it became a attack the guard fest. And like when you bring out
100%.
6'4" guards with Patty, it's going to be
Yep.
the exact same thing where like boys are just calling flare ups every other possession, like cuts in and cut. And like, don't get me wrong, those are still like a lock should be able to V cut and change the game. Like if you're a top lock, offensive locks, like you think about Zay, KP, like, you know what I mean? These people who are super offensive, like they've made like names through like being offensive locks. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like when you're just living through it, when you're trying to live through it with like being a 6'4" lock, like V cutting out the corner, flaring up for the ball as soon as your ball, like that's just bad. It's not fun to watch, and it takes.
I'm not,
bro. You don't play, and that's why you're not buying.
Hold on. Let me tell you the difference though. Now, fan, like 2K 22, 23, and other 2Ks, cool. I understand what you're talking about. The guards back then, they would have a high 3-ball, high finishing, be able to dribble, no defense whatsoever, bro. The small guards today, OD, they got defense. Y'all motherfuckers run around 96 still. Like y'all could play defense. Guards can play defense this year, but y'all have defense in the bills this year. Is that not
true.
Facts?
That's true. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is like one of the most entertaining things about 3v3. I know, but I'm saying one of the most entertaining things about 3v3 is like 18, 19, whatever the case may be, throughout the game, it's kind of like a PNR based thing where it's defense and offense. It's not backdoor every other fucking play, V cut every other fucking play, flare up and get the ball every other That's not what stage has ever been in 3v3. Yep. Like you think about like prime stage, like that's not what it was. It was guards going at it with locks, and the locks fucking were in that corner, either hit a shot, maybe flare up like last second if shit's boxed. But like it wasn't like go with the guard every other play, which like if you go to stage or even if you play now, like that's what it is now. Like so it's like I'm just saying, I could be wrong if people disagree. Bro. Yeah, exactly. See you on that old head shit. Like that's exactly like it is basketball. So I agree with you. I agree with you to a sense, though. I agree with you to a sense.
Get your ass in the corner and watch a pick.
But Dino, like you both, like you see, but like Dino, like Dino's bias, like bro. Even on Xbox back in the day, Dino, you were the guy who was jigging out the corner. Like we get it, bro. Like you were the guy who like you were the kid who went locked down and we threw it to you in the corner and we had to watch you ISO out the corner on Xbox stage. Like we get it, bro. Like so that is like Fanta is literally attacking your manhood of what you were in stage. So I get it 100%.
I had no idea.
What I'll say is that was Dino in a nutshell on Xbox, bro. That literally was what you were, Dino. So what I will say, Fanta, you make a good point. From a 2K League's perspective, I think 100% that's where they went wrong. And me being where I was in my position, that was one of the number one things that I brought up when it came to 3v3 and helping structure that whole scene was, and the pushback was always, well, how do we tell people to ban a strategy, right? So like my at least what I went to them with was like let's promote some sort of like GA agreement between teams where we don't do like the lock screens and just attacking the guard all game, because it like you said, it just takes away the excitement. It takes away what 3v3 really is. Right. There was ways around it. I just think there was a lot.
All they had to do was tell them don't do it, because they run the league. They're not going to go against what the league rules is. It's like you ain't even got to put it on agreement. You can just say it and it just enforce it.
It was tough because it was a place where like I was brought in to help, and unfortunately, like not everything that I wanted to see got implemented. So I do think that's a major reason why we saw 3v3 not be as successful. Also, it's probably a reason why we saw like guards like yourself, Fanta, and like some of these more stage guards, BP, etc., not do as well, because it really isn't what the gameplay you're known for.
The biggest thing about like the league, and I don't think I truly was like good in threes in the league until like my most recent season on like the second half of the year, where it's like kind of understands like in 2K League, it's literally who's not going to make a mistake. So it's like when you think about my weakness as a player, you think about, okay, making the right read every single time, right? Like I think that I've gotten a lot better at it, but the people who are going to win in that shit every trip are, you have a cracked lock, you have a cracked center, and you have a guard who's going to make the right decision while he's going to go dunk every single time, to either dunk it, to scoop it, to pass out. Like it's like kind of like a repetitive format of just like attacking the guard, taking the best look, attacking the guard, taking the best look. You think about my gameplay, like I want to go quick stop some shit, get a three.
Right.
Like that's what I like my entire 3v3
Right.
like. But I also think that's what's entertaining. You know what I mean? That's what being a top guard was in 2K. Like you're attacking the double team in a PNR trying to get threes up. You know what I mean? Like it's not a backdoor fest or go scoop baseline every other play because that shit's just boring. Like that's just not what stage is.
It's probably
like,
also
what do you
why
think
you
about
saw,
that lie? Like, am I chatting though?
No,
Nah,
I don't think you're chatting. But that's probably also why you saw Dayfry and them do good, right? Like the Wizards. Like I mean, bro, they made a 3v3 final that Dayfry guard.
My first season, bro, I was going straight ISO. I was going straight at the line. I wasn't doing no live screens or none of that. See, I ISO my whole way through. I did spin backs, lobs off the backboard. Bro. I was trying to have fun. Like I'm trying to have fun at the same time as win, but like. You feel me? Because you got to make it entertaining for the people. Like you gonna see that player's gonna go viral and shit like that. Like watching live screens and scoopers and like
dog
like
shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's nothing.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
And just when you look at from a casual looking at that, it's just like, what are you watching? Like, what exactly are you watching? Watching the guard go baseline and scoop every other play, and then on one of the plays he snatches back instead of scooping and then shoots the ball.
Like he box. He's just scooping him right on like with no stem, adrenaline, no nothing.
It's bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I agree. I agree. It was, and that's probably why everything is where it is now on that end. So switching away from 2K League, and someone in the chat wanted to know what GA means. So if you guys aren't familiar with GA, this means gentleman agreement. So basically, like instead of making it a set rule like in the 2K League rules, basically teams would just say, hey, like we agree that we won't do lock screens or whatever the case may be. Same way Call of Duty, like they have certain GA agreements about like we don't use smoke grenades and search and destroy. Like it's the same concept. It's not as an official rule in a rule book. It's just an agreement amongst teams not to do certain things in the game. But unfortunately, like we never saw that. So let's jump into some more like controversial talks here. Like obviously me and Dnell more of the Xbox side, both of you guys more the PlayStation side. So I understand where probably both answers are going to go here, but like non-biased, like let's actually like look at the bigger picture. Where do we feel like the best competitive stage players were?
Xbox,
100%, or PlayStation?
Not even close.
Depends on the year.
Okay, well,
Xbox.
Well, I mean, I guess it's hard to say like a year. I guess if we had to look at the grand scheme of everything, right? Like over the years,
I think that Xbox had a select few of elite players, but if you're going to talk about just who has more goons running around in the stage, from 20 to 21, I'll say from 20 to 21 current, even like you guys had a couple like Pablo, like you had like a couple like Xbox, you got Tazo, Zay. Like I think your guys as elite players were like always elite when they came over to P5. But like in terms of like pure quantity of just like dogs in the stage, I think P5 had it. I think you guys just had more quality than quantity.
Majority of the time, the people that was running the stage on PlayStation came from Xbox.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, no, like to Fana's point.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, to your point, Fana, I think Xbox had better tier 1 elite players. I think overall, PlayStation had better quality players. So like when you get down to your tier 2s and your tier 3s, I think PlayStation fared far beyond Xbox. But I think when you got to tier 1 teams, and that's the select few like Fana was talking about, you're talking about the Zays, right? Like I'll always say, and I'm sure, I mean, live and Fana, feel free to give your opinion. I think Xbox hands down always had the better lockdowns. I think when you talk about some of the best lockdowns ever to touch the stage, I don't think you can have a conversation without talking about KP, Zay, and Tazo. I just don't think all three of those names are always going to come up in a top 5 discussion.
Now, so I don't know about that one.
Who's a PlayStation player?
KP. I'm just gonna say KP is a player.
Bro, he came from Xbox, but you can't claim him. He's Xbox.
He came from Xbox. KP now. What you mean?
You see what I'm saying?
He already had too many years on PlayStation.
Matter.
And that's why they be saying PlayStation players is better because y'all claiming.
Where were you birthed?
PlayStation.
Where were you birthed? He was birthed on Xbox. He was birthed on Xbox.
KP is a dog though. I ain't gonna lie. I used to call his phone 10 times every morning on 2K22 just so he wake up. Sort of got it. He was just so good. I just can't play without him. I gotta call him 10 times. And then he'll wake up like,
I'll say,
brush my teeth.
Yo, bro. I'll say I think Xbox always had the better lockdowns. I think some of the lockdowns that you guys are seeing now are getting more respect because you don't maybe see as much of a KP anymore. You don't see Tezos as much anymore. I don't know how much Zay's playing, but like even some of the newer guys now that I'm seeing on stage, right? Like Drippy. I think Drippy's starting to get in that conversation.
Drip
I think
is
Drippy's a dog. Yeah, Drippy's really
Drip is a
good.
switchable lockdown defender.
Hey man, listen. Drippy's up there for me.
You
I
think
think
he's
if
a
you guys don't know
switchable?
who Mint
I told him I already showed him his build. Every time he played me, it's just I don't know how he ends up on the center. He's looking like TMT
Oh, he
backboxing. The great
switches.
Feather.
He switches.
He just
Bro,
switches. Yeah, it's a
I
build
ain't
in the
gonna
game.
lie.
It's a build in the game. Finna called switchable lockdown defender. I show him the screenshot every time.
All right, so let's say this then.
Bro,
If you had to give me a top 5 lockdowns over the year in stage, from when you started to now, basically, top 5 lockdowns in stage across both consoles, what are the
I'm gonna say
names for
me.
you?
First, I gotta put me in there.
You?
There's no way I don't get put in there. I'm the greatest. Like
That
from
lock?
19 when Drop came, the Great Dewey, like the Great Dewey lock, like I gotta go down as top 5. Like,
I mean, that's just insane.
on a realistic note, my top 5 would have to go like in no order. Because I can't put this shit in order. I'm gonna be honest.
Yep.
But I'd have Tezo in there. I'd have KP and Zay. I mean, I would want to just like this is like could be a little bit of bias because it's my dog, but I just remember how good he was. He was when he played. Like when Madness plays the game, like at the beginning of the game, the nigga like
he's a
like
dog.
it's and I feel like it's every time he consistently plays the game, the nigga is a dog. But
I'll give you that.
I'd have Madness in there, and then
Madness. Oh my god, he's such a god on this game. He's actually
that's what I'm, bro.
Sure.
Like when you think about Madness at 22 and even 21, like, that shit.
No, Madness in 22. Yo, Madness in 22. That was the blitz god. Yo, he had 94 feet before 94 feet was a bad.
He used no L2. He used no L2 and just ran around blitzing the entire game.
Yeah, he was super tough for sure. Yeah, who would you go for fifth?
No. I don't
see,
know.
Hezzy's over Baller and Convy.
Niggas is no. In terms of like straight stick, yeah, I guess I would throw Hezcap right there because Hezcap was Mr. Beat him to the spot too. Like he was good as fucking blitzing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, like I obviously no order like Fanta said. I think the first 3 off the board is Tezo, KP, Zay. Outside of that, I will say Madness, and the reason I'll say Madness is because when I would watch you guys, I mean, I came over to PlayStation a little bit and like would play and like just like collab with you guys, but when I would actually sit back and watch, like Madness stuck out to me a lot, like the shit that he did stuck out to me a lot. And then that 5th spot, it's tough. Like I like Hezzy's game, but God bless, Hezzy might be the top 1 weirdo in the stage community I think I ever met. So like that's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Someone in my chat is saying
sure
Anti. What about Anti? Remember Anti Lie?
Wasn't he the one that was like going crazy in 22 or 23 next gen stage that was like fading out the corners and shit?
Well, he's a top 2 weirdo
like
also, but he was pretty good.
Is that who he's talking about? Because I remember there was like some kid going crazy back then, like 23 next gen or 22 next gen.
I don't know if that was him. That was 20. They're saying that was 20. So for me, 20? I'll probably go again. Zay, KP, Tezo, no order. Throwing Madness in there.
I mean, I'd be locking shit up on the threes. I gotta be in somewhere around that range.
But like the problem is, you know, like you don't have
my body on the threes, man.
Like when you played, you were nice, but like you're just not in that scene no more. Like you're
because I ISO'd out the corner. That was something because I nigga put the ball on the floor and I don't get the credit. That's going on.
Like I would probably go 5. Like for me, 5. Like for me, 5. For me, for 5, I would go Hezzy or like or Drippy or like Minty would be my 5th. So like Lie, like curious on your end, like is there anyone out of that 5 that Fanta said and I said that you don't agree with?
Okay, I would honestly, I know he only played 1 year at the stage, but I would put Shump because I played with Shump at 19.
Shump
he's an animal. He was an animal. Like he was like when he stepped in the stage, like I didn't have to score no points. Like he'll just do everything, defense, offense. I don't. Let me see any other lockdowns. What's some other good lockdowns that I'm missing? Like I know that it's a
Chump's a good
lot.
one. What about randoms?
Oh,
He
I
can't
forgot
shoot.
about Keys.
He can't shoot
What
though,
about
man.
Keys?
What?
I mean,
You
but
think he
bro,
could
Hezzy
can't
could
I
shoot?
don't
shoot.
remember him being that 50. Hezzy couldn't shoot either.
Man,
Hazel couldn't shoot forever.
I can put free
Keith-
security in there. I can put free security in there. Honestly, I
secured.
can.
You got free
can.
secured over Keys?
Fanta, I know. Listen, that if he really like when he
I
locks
know.
in,
I
he
remember.
crunches. He's a hawk.
No, free secured is good as fuck, but
People
over
are
randoms
saying,
is just
what about
a little
DJ
crazy to me.
Dorian?
DJ DoorDash. He was
I was
good.
about
He was
to
good
say,
at
I didn't
sending.
want to say that out loud. Oh
He
God,
was
I
good
didn't
at
want to say that
sending.
out.
He
Oh
was
God.
good at sending orders. Yo, fan of DJ DoorDash. He was good at locking up the food. Now he was good at locking up the food. I ain't gonna lie, he did lock up the food. I ain't
That's
gonna lie,
crazy,
but he might get an honorable mention for that. I can't lie.
I think Keith. I think Keith is a good one. I think Keith makes an argument.
For sure. I mean, bro, realistically, like,
Yeah,
if
randoms
fucking
definitely.
18, you're down 19 to 20, or fucking 2019, you're down. I think I want fucking Keys, like,
Right.
getting my stop before fucking free secured. In my honest opinion.
Demon Kev, nah, I don't.
Like, you
wouldn't put Demon
disagree?
Kev in
You
my
think
top
free
five.
secure getting that stop before randoms?
I think Free Secure is getting that stop before. I played with Free Secure so
I
much.
don't know
I
if I
know
agree
he's
with
getting
that.
that stop. He is insane.
Bro, randoms.
I ain't gonna lie,
have
Free's
stick,
actually
though.
good.
Like, bro,
If I had to say like top two people, right? Like fantasy situation, it's 1920. I'd need a fucking stop. Like top two people that I'd probably pick. I'd probably go Keith. And
Oh
I'd
my
probably
God.
go. I mean, I'd probably go KP. Maybe. I think I would go KP over Zay. Like me
no.
personally.
Depends
Like
on
Zay,
what
Zay-
year.
the thing about
Zay- The thing about Zay that separates Zay was hands down the best offensive lock that I've ever seen. Like hands down the best offensive lock. Decision making, fast break, flaring up, fades, whatever the case may be. Like he can get you a bucket. So like that's where Zay separated on that end. Some people are saying, what about awkward? Does he make an honorable mention?
Ooh, my boy. I mean, he only played stage seriously for 1 year.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
wasn't
for
really
actually it
playing
was
stage.
2. It was 2. It was 21. It was 21 current and 22 at at 22 in the beginning. He actually didn't. So it was really just 21 current when he actually took it serious.
Yeah, Hezzy's a good one too, bro. Hezzy was really good at blitzing like on the press. Hezzy was really good at that, bro.
My biggest
Dnell
what
and
could have
Jaden,
been with
ain't no way
stage
Jaden's
though.
on that.
Somebody that I always thought that could have been like the best in stage if he like just played like I thought what stick was the fucking. I thought if he
Stick?
played stage like
Yo, what
consistently,
stick was
because
so annoying in 2K19.
He's been playing since 2K20, so it's like if he would have been fiending out in stage the way he like fiends out in pro am, like he would have been. I think in my
did do him
opinion, like
crazy
he would
in
have
the
been up
2K
there with
league
the
though. I
top
did
3,
do him crazy.
like for sure.
I mean, that was one of the best matchups in 3v3 we ever
I
saw.
dropped 20
though.
points a
Like,
game
that
in
was
the 2K league.
No, but he also went crazy on y'all though,
Crazy.
Lie. He had that game where he blitzed you
Nah,
like 3
I mean
times
he
in a
did.
row,
But
like-
remember when I saw him that second time, no Toxic, it was no. He had no answer because I got better. He didn't know what to do the second time he saw me.
But I'll say like y'all battled. Like it wasn't like you just shitted on him. Like he had some games where he was going crazy.
I think the second time we flooded them though. The second time we swept them. That first series was crazy though. But
right. All right. So let's do this. I'm curious on your guys' end. If we had to say a Mount Rushmore, a Mount Rushmore of stage over the years, for you, who is your Mount Rushmore? We know Lie's probably gonna put Lie on his own fucking Mount Rushmore, so we can cross that name off the list.
I ain't gonna put myself up there, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just here, man. I don't know, but I honestly, Mount Rushmore, I put Boss up there.
We got it. Are we going for casual streaking 10K, or are we going winning tournaments
like
and placements?
I mean, I think that plays hand in hand, right? Like I think if you're winning 10K all the time, but you can't win when the money's on the line, that
because we know some people that they can't lock in.
There
for
are
G's,
definitely some niggas who can't play for cheese.
Right. So
Yeah,
I think that all plays a factor then, because like to me, my tournaments represent stage, right? So like if you're winning 10K every day, but you get bounced first, second round in all my tournaments, like I think that says a lot about you as a stage player, like me personally. So like for me, I'll say one person I got to put in my Mount Rushmore I'll just give you guys one. Like I think Clutch 100% is
For sure,
Mount Rushmore
100%.
for me.
I
Yeah,
really
definitely Clutch.
I believe everything in my soul that he was cheating last year. I
Bro,
believe
never,
that. I
What?
could not
never.
believe the shit he was doing.
He doesn't cheat,
Bro,
bro. Oh God, he don't cheat.
yo, this guy was just
He was
offline
frying you like that?
gaming,
Telling you,
doing
bro.
bro, hey, not frying. This nigga was fading niggas' eyes out from half court. With mind you, nobody else could damn near even green, bro. This nigga was fading from half court consistently
Bro,
the entire. Oh, well,
I'm
I
telling you,
obviously now
bro.
I see because he's. I heard he's doing it in the stage this year, so it's like obviously I'm
Yep.
starting to be more and more convinced because
I mean,
I
I
teamed
played
with Jay
Clutch.
Bullen
He definitely misses a
and I
lot.
used to,
Like I mean, it's the game for sure, but he definitely misses a lot. Like
what this year,
yeah, I played him this year. I played him a lot this year. He missed a lot. He missed a lot. Like ain't
bro.
gonna lie, he missed a lot.
I believed with everything, but because talks, I
Yeah,
couldn't wrap
last year
my
was
mind around
crazy.
because like I get being good. Like the biggest counter argument that I got, like when I believed this last year, was, oh, he's been good. Like he's been good in like Xbox. He's known as a
Right.
good guard, which is like I can see that. You can see that in the movement. Like so, like okay, let's say bring example Dynasty, right? So when Dynasty came out greening and doing all that nut shit, like I thought he was cheating 100% because his movement didn't match up to how glitchy he was with his like shot selection and being able to green pockets. Because when you look at people who were green and shit like that, all of them could dribble and shoot pockets and all the nut shit. Clutch can actually dribble and do all the shit, so it makes it real believable. Like, but he was just fading from half court, like no badge,
Yep.
like consistently, and there was just nothing you could do, and you can't keep up with that offense because you just can't green it. Like, who else was greening like somewhat close to that? Like, and there's just never
Right.
been a
Not
2K that I've been a part of where like the skill gaps comes from being able to green things that nobody else can green.
right. Now
Like, what year has
he
that
is
So
happened?
a
so
Name a year.
are you saying he was cheating, or what are you trying to
Yeah, I
say?
mean, I still definitely believe he was cheating. Just because, but like when I give you my reasoning, like tell me one time in the history of 2K stage when the best guard has been better than everybody else simply because he green shots that nobody else could green. And the one person that comes to mind is Crip Walking. Other than that, who? Every other
yeah, bro.
guard,
I
they
got
were good for their movement. They were good for something that was not greening shit that nobody else could green. Who?
I mean,
I
Who?
got
when
Name
you
no
put
answer
it in
for you.
those
name a
contexts,
I ain't got no answer for you. Though.
it's a good argument. But I'll say like I've been around that kid for a long time, and that motherfucker just wins, bro. I don't know. He just wins, and like you could say
which I
that
believe.
he always.
I think he's a
You
good
could
athlete
say he always
regardless.
has better. You could say he always had better teammates. Whatever. Okay, Xbox side, he probably had. I mean, the best run out of all my tournaments I've ever had. I think he won like 4 out of 5. I think Dnell actually, you guys beat him like the last tournament of the year. But that 3 that he
I
had
was
with
always
like
in the finals.
that 3 he had with him,
Yeah,
Zay, and Drake, like them motherfuckers never lost,
yeah,
bro. They never
no
lost.
facts.
So like, for me, Clutch has to be in that Mount Rushmore. Just to remind you guys, Mount Rushmore is 4 people. So I'll go Clutch as my one. Center is tough. This is where I get pulled back and forth. There's a couple guys that come to my mind when it comes to center. I think Drake on the Xbox side is like has was always one of the best centers. But then like who gets that spot? Is it Drake? Is it Boss? Is it you know what I mean? Like that's where that argument comes in. Like, is it someone even further back? Like,
You know who get
I
I'll
mine.
be
don't
You
a
know
think
who get mine. I don't
I
even gotta
don't
answer
think
that.
niggas really remember how separated Boss was at one point in time. Like niggas used to edit his My Player's face on a Jesus and just wake up in the Light was one of them niggas, by the way.
right.
Like
That's
wake
sad.
up in the morning and just be like, just wanted to say my prayer to and put his
Yeah,
My Player there with
nah.
fucking
He
wings
definitely
with the
had more
on
pull.
the
He had
Jesus
more
Christ.
pull. He had more pull and
Like
more
I
aura
don't know what he
than
talking about,
Drake
but
did.
yeah,
I'm not
now
gonna lie
niggas
to
don't
you.
want now niggas don't
I'm
know
not
what I'm
going with a
talking
PlayStation
about.
Center, bro. I'm not going with a PlayStation Center
Okay,
because y'all used to get killed by
Dino,
the outside.
if we went Xbox, do you give it to Drake or do you give it to OMG?
I'm giving this to OMG 100%.
That's biased because that was your teammate, man. That's
It's
biased.
not. It's not biased. I just think OMG was the better player. I just think Drake had the better teammates.
Respectable. All right, okay, for me, I'll go Clutch. I'll put Drake because I'm the Xbox guy, and then if I had to go lockdown, ooh, the best lockdown ever, bro. Holy shit, that's hard. Fuck,
That
man. I'm
is.
gonna go. Man, I'm gonna go Tazo. I think I'll go Tazo for me. I think over the years he's been the most consistent over the years. So I'll go Tazo. KP came a little bit later. I think KP might have had a bigger run, but like from start to finish, I think Tazo had been like the most consistent. And then my last spot, your last spot, I guess, can be like in any position, right? Like an honorable mention, any position. Fuck. I mean, just because like I think they're both that good. Nah, I can't go Tazo and KP. That's just not right. I gotta figure. All right. You guys give me 3 while I think on my 4.
I feel like the last spot should go to somebody that's really good at win at any position they play. Because there's some players in the stage they could win at lock or win at center, like not just one position.
I mean, how many people do that though?
Who did that? Look at Lie.
I mean, Lie did play multiple positions. I will say that, but like,
but I've never seen him doing an attorney.
Yeah, like you
I
might
I gotta be the wing.
I ain't gonna lie, Talks. I was in your finals whether I played the 1 or the 2 in the 3s. Like 19, I was the point guard in 19.
That is a fact.
For 2s and 3s. And by the way, we talking about 2s and 3s. And matter of fact, I did it back-to-back years. 19, I was in the finals for 2s and 3s at the guard. 20, I was in the finals for 2s, lost from fucking mid-range. That went viral as fucking went trending on Twitter. And then I came back the next day and won 3s at the lock.
You did have people were saying Lie did guard ball while playing guard on 10K.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Thank for the real ones. Yes, I was guarding ball and I was doing offense at the same time on a BP with six defensive badges at first. What? Guard Keith, BP. Everybody.
Now that is fast.
It's hard to say BP guys because like BP to me like he has more aura than he does like being.
I love player. BP, but bro, it's like
I wouldn't give
he dropped Twitter clips and then go on the stage and play totally different than the Twitter clips. And I'm just like, what is this? And then it's a command in my chat named ATM Finest.
Yo, bro.
I think you would have to go Mount Rushmore for PlayStation than Mount Rushmore for Xbox. I don't think you can combine it because I think.
Okay, so let's do this, Dnell. Let's. I like that. So let's do this then. Let's give our Mount Rushmore for Xbox, and then let's have Fanta and Lie give their Mount Rushmore for PlayStation.
I mean, 100% Xbox. You could throw Zay Tazo in there, and then
Clutch.
I say Clutch 100%, and then forward just whatever. I mean, I think it's me.
You're going OMG then.
I'm going my.
Well, so you're leaving OMG off your Mount Rushmore.
100%, yeah. If it included me, yes.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the back burner a little bit and speak up for my Xbox side. Then I'm going Clutch, Tazo, Zay, and Drake is my Mount Rushmore. You were a lockdown who ISO'd out the corner. We're the only one that was doing it in stage, so I'm not gonna give you too much credit. You were.
That means I'm the greatest because ain't nobody else do it. So that means I'm the greatest.
All right. So
it's no regrets because that means somebody else could do it.
Yeah, but we just had pride back then. Now it's anything goes. So, Fanta, go ahead. Fanta or Live, what do you guys think for your Mount Rushmore PlayStation?
Mount Rushmore is so hard because like everything is so in the air. Because like when you really think about it, like of PlayStation, I would throw like if I was gonna like do my own list and not throw myself there, I would say Lie. But like because like other than Lie, I don't know a single guard that's like when you think about like since 2K20 every single year, no matter what the game felt like, niggas was going crazy in the
bro,
stage.
If you trying to make somebody blush, bro, you can say that, man.
Yo, who was the one guard?
No. That's 100% my answer on Jesus Christ. Like that's not even because like, I would say the same thing if he wasn't here.
Who was the one guard that played with? I forgot his name. And I mean, Lie definitely has the argument to be there. And I'm not saying this kid does, but he was pretty good from what I remember being over there. He played with like Aqua and Anti.
Wins.
Yeah, Wins.
But as soon as the meta changed from like
running around the court,
running like literally Wins his main thing. He would run.
They called him a
so
track
wide.
star. They literally called him a track star.
He would not come back.
But that's what we call Clutch. That's how Clutch was on Xbox.
Exactly.
And
yeah, that's exactly.
But that's the thing though. Clutch will win a tourney doing that.
Exactly.
I mean, Wins won one of my
didn't,
tourneys though. He did.
But I don't recall. I remember Wins being called a best guard, but I swear to God, I remember vividly watching him lose every time money was on the line.
Bro,
And
lie.
this
Who was
was
the one
in
guy?
2K20.
Who was the one guy? Who was the one guy that came to PlayStation? He streamed for a while, but he was a GTA kid. He played guard. He was pretty good, like for a while. He was cool with y'all. Like I forgot his name. He was in Eyeball actually for a little bit. Like light
Pablo?
Was
skinned
it
kind of
GTA?
kid. No, not
Draco?
Pablo. He streamed with
Pablo?
no. Those are Xbox kids. But he was a PlayStation kid. He streamed. Like he actually not SETI guys. He won. Jiggy. Yeah, Jiggy. So
Oh my
Jiggy,
God,
Oh,
I
what
he was
remember
happened
pretty
to
good.
Jiggy.
Jiggy? Jiggy was so good
Jiggy.
once.
He's
Yeah.
yeah.
So
He
so
was
that
one
that
of
was
them these days.
that was the year
That
I'm
was
talking
22
about.
current,
So
right?
it was Jiggy.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
22
Jiggy in the
current.
finals.
And he
It was
went from
Jiggy in the
spotting up in my
finals.
corner.
Yeah, but he was actually tough though. He played in the finals with
Yeah.
him, Tazo, and someone else, and they lost to I think it was Wins, Ante, and Aqua, or maybe not Ante. I don't remember who the lock was, but I remember Wins vividly being like really good that year.
But that's one tourney. Like I don't like. I'm lying. Am I hating right now? Like
What?
I swear to God, I don't know if I'm tweaking. I like Wins just being a fucking money
I
grabber, winning
actually don't
wagers,
remember
doing
Wins
tourneys.
winning. I
Like
do not. I
like
do not
and
remember
he,
that. I
and
will
he
be honest.
that's not.
I
I do
don't.
remember him being the Dawn of stage though. You think about 2K20, the motherfucker
I
was on
remember
that
him
10K
being
and
good at
not beating
stage.
him.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, they call him a track star here running around the court, and yeah, I remember
He
that.
talking about when the money on the line, he ain't coming through.
Which is just like
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about Mount Rushmore, you got to think about like nigga
Right.
if it's 18-19 for the cheese,
Okay, so go ahead. I
like
interrupt
that's
you,
what.
but
What
so
do
if
you?
you had to give your Mount Rushmore, then
I would say from 20 to now, which is like that's big for my context for my Mount Rushmore. Like that's when I came into the community, so that's all I know. I would go. You could go Lie at lock. You could go
D boy.
because you guys said PlayStation. But D Boy was good, and actually D Boy was good as fucking 20 and 21. No, but 21, I ain't gonna lie, he got caught with his end. A lot of niggas don't speak on that. The nigga got caught with his batteries off on stream, and nigga swept it under the rug.
I will be honest. I think D-Boy had his head. I will just be honest with niggas.
That's just so crazy to me. The dick suck was so crazy. Nigga swept it
He
under the
literally
rug
came to
like
the court
he
and
didn't.
asked how he set it up, man. I just kept it quiet, man. I just let him vibe.
So it's like and he was bad at the beginning of 21, like bad. So it's like the fact he popped out and started wagering all of a sudden, and then the nigga batteries disappeared on stream. I was like, yeah, all right, okay. I see
Nah,
what the fuck.
definitely Flair was the.
So,
That happened to the
nah,
wager
you
right
saved
with
me
you.
money
That was
day.
literally your wager. That
You
was literally your
it
wager.
was my wager. Nigga had a hoodie.
I literally
in
had
his
to load up my
sweatshirt.
PS4 just to see if he was cheating or not. I literally loaded up my PS4 just to test it out.
That's funny. Bro.
Yeah, he had made different accounts. Like
All right, so
like,
you got
the way
so
he
you
used to, all right,
so you have
topic.
Lie.
Lie. Who's a PlayStation lock? Because when you think about like that, like nigga, everybody when lockdowns they did come from your guys' fucking. But I'm not throwing Hezzy on my.
But I feel like there's somebody better than Hezzy.
Exactly.
I think of Hezzy. I think of Madness. I think of randoms. I think of.
Bro, yeah, I could. Hey, I don't know what I remember.
People are saying Convi, Dnell.
But Convi is like, he was a really good at one point, but like Mount Rushmore of just top locks. Because like at that point, like
Hezzy 2K League 3v3 champ.
That is true. I would have to say like, but KP's Xbox, y'all. They said KP's Xbox. Yeah, I would say KP, Xbox. But they're considering KP as Xbox. And Convi wasn't consistently good enough to get put up there. Like, but when he was good, he was really good. Yeah, I guess
Justin's
I would just have to throw fucking
on Hezzy.
Yeah, I would have to say Hezzy. The nigga did go to the league and won. And in stage, like anytime he played the game consistently, he was gonna like blitz you over and over up the court. Like, and then so that's 1, 2.
You gotta go.
And then
you gotta go. What boss?
Yeah, I mean, I it would be incredibly biased if I said JP, but
oh my god,
nigga, what you laughing at?
JP stuff. No, JP stuff.
I just thought Boss ran PlayStation. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, JP
No,
is
he
tough. There
did.
is some
He
good
did.
PlayStation centers, bro.
He did for a select, but Boss after 2K20, like in 2K21, he came towards the end and played with D-Boy when he was like, but like 22, 23, 24, it's like, what was that? Like, are we all gonna just like dick suck, or like he wasn't that good?
It went to poppers. Honestly,
He
Boss
stopped.
is
Yeah,
an
I
the
don't even
inside
game.
think
The
23 and
is
24
an
stages
inside
even like
player.
should be even valuable to the
22 is
conversation. I
20,
think
20
those are so bad.
22 as well. You could
I
throw
thought 22
22 in
was
there as
late enough.
well.
I think 22 was late enough to be in the conversation though. I think 23 and 24 stages is so bad that I don't even think you should even credit that era. I honestly think
That's true.
19 to 22 is just so good. Like the stage was so good at that time that whoever was the best at that time should get the credit for that. Guess when it was popping.
Yeah, then I would probably say, yeah. I mean, I guess you'd have to go Boss at that point. But like when you think about like as a player, you think Mount Rushmore stage, being able to adjust to the next thing. JP was an inside
It's
too.
part of it.
Like he went to a popper and became a dog because he's still just good. Still has good ass defense on a popper. Could play a pop. Could play a slip. Can shoot well. Can still rebound the fuck out the ball. Like you know what I mean? So that's
Yep.
why I have him. I would honestly have him from now to 24. I have JP over Boss because he
I
was
respect
still
it.
just only a couple tiers lower when Boss was at his highest in 20.
I respect it.
And
Man,
Miami,
fucking throw yourself
no.
up there. Final spot.
No, for sure, yeah. For my fourth, I'll throw myself because I really do think I played top 3 at the beginning of the year when the shit mattered, when the shit lit since NBA 2K.
Yeah,
Like,
I respect
really,
that.
honestly,
And most of the time, I'll be honest. Most of the time in my tournaments, you typically had a good run. So like, I don't think like playing for the money is a downfall of yours. I'll say like you guys, I think have a tough argument when it comes to who it is for centers because I think you guys have so many good centers. I will say that like
our centers are dogs for sure.
Yeah, between Boss, JP,
Insides.
I mean Native,
Insides.
like no, I mean
I have better
Native when Native
insides.
played, Pausing, Jay
Fucking
Goated, I mean
Aqua Nightmare, Jay
like
Goated.
yeah, bro, like
Fucking
their top 10 centers are far beyond our top 10 Xbox centers. Like we
They
go
have better
probably like
insides.
5. I mean, Blah's not PlayStation, guys. Blah is Xbox. If you know Blah is Xbox. Blah comes from Xbox.
yeah, but Blah
100%.
went on a Linsanity run because he had a metric 6'6" fucking center when nobody knew about it.
He did, but Blah is 100%.
That center was 6'6" in 21.
Yes.
Was it 6'6"?
That was a metric center when nobody else could fucking keep up. Or no, 6'7", whatever, because it was 6'8".
He had that
I thought it was
glitch shit.
6'8".
Yeah,
He had that
it was
glitch shit.
It was a 6'7", but it was some glitch shit and nobody could keep up. And Zerg too. Zerg was a fucking dog.
Zerg,
I forgot about Zerg.
You guys, like out of our top 5, like I mean, Dnell, correct me if I'm wrong, but our top 5, I'd probably go like no order, OMG, Drake, Points. When Mar played, Mar was good as fuck. So like people can't say Mar. Like Mar 100% was in that. And then 5th, I mean, you could say there's guys like Versace or Blah or etc. So like I think PlayStation is a little bit deeper on that end.
I definitely put Blah in top 5.
Balmain, Lil D, Exvu
sure.
now. I mean, shit, we actually are kind of deep. I ain't gonna lie.
Xvu
Those guys
is
got
the
older.
next
Back in the day, they were like 12 years old though, so they were shitty back then. Fan, like now they're the new wave of Xbox.
I play Lil D today.
No, Lil D's tough. Lil D's tough.
True.
He shot very late to the rim.
I remember I watched him in a league tourney and he was doing some generational shit for his team.
Nah, Lil D now is he's got it, but like back when we were playing, like back in the day, he was like literally a 10-year-old, so like no one took him serious. All right, anyways, we're a little over time. I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I'll let you finish it off. Like who to you is the Mount Rushmore for PS5?
What I go with the one? I gotta put myself. It's no way. It's just, and I gotta put myself because in 20, the 3v3 league tourney, then in the same week I won your tourney. It was just like, and then niggas was scared to play me, just all of 20. Like I didn't play 21 like that, I'll be honest, but I played 22, and I was tough in 22. I won the first tournament on 22. It's like just gotta put myself.
I respect it. I mean, shit, you'd probably be in my Mount Rushmore if I was making a PlayStation 1. So you got yourself there. You got 3 more spots.
Is it biased if I put Rail?
I mean, 100%.
Yes. Bias as fuck.
100% it is.
Be
And
so
Rel's my dog.
Be so fucking for real.
But come on, bro.
Oh my god! Like, but you can put JP. Man, it's crazy, man.
Bro, but are we actually gonna compare JP and Rel from 2K20 to now?
Honestly, we can. Let me see.
What?
2K20
No, I'll say
Rel
Rel's
was
prime
better.
year though. 20 Rel was a dog. He was, and he was good at a
So
lot
is
of positions,
JP.
though. No, I'm not saying JP wasn't good.
That's
but like,
true.
But Rel was the more versatile player, I would say. Like he could do a lot of different things on a lot of different positions.
No, I think Rel is good.
It's your choice here. It's your choice here. Like
You gotta understand,
you
but
give
the
your
thing
four.
Is, I seen Rel. You gotta say I seen Rel play guard, lock, center.
No, he is good as fuck at everything.
I've also seen.
Hey,
Rel. I know Rel's watching. Rel's my dog.
Yeah,
I also seen
like
Rel
give me tips on. I'm the main guard, and Rel still give me tips on guard, which makes me better. But I mean, I'm not gonna put him in there. I got my honorable mention, but I guess I'll put Boss. Who else we got? How many more spots I got?
You have 3 spots. You have you as 1. You have 3 more.
Damn, I might have to put JP in there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to.
Okay.
So yeah, I throw JP in there.
2 more. Can't call Fanta biased now.
I'll throw Fanta in there.
Okay. Now you need a lockdown.
4th, a lockdown from PS from PlayStation. No.
Unless you're gonna say you're the Mt Rushmore of lockdown and you put a different guard.
No. I ain't even about to say that. I just feel like I don't know, but honestly, for his run, I put Madness. For when he plays the game, when he plays the game, I feel like he's just one of them untouchable lockdowns.
I respect it. All right, cool. So you guys see there a lot of familiarity across both sides when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation. So we'll see. I'm going to be doing a tournament next month. I'll give you guys. We're looking at doing October 18th through the 20th. So just a heads up there. You guys that are on the podcast right now, that you guys coming on, I appreciate you guys taking the time. So you guys, for the first tournament, I'm going to give you guys your team free entry to the tournament to compete. So more information will come out about that soon, about rules, everything of that nature. Like I said, we'll start that structure that I was telling you guys about, where it's 3 tournaments in the start of season 2. So this first tournament in October is just a kickoff classic, first tournament of the year. Curious to your guys' opinion here too. I kind of know where I stand, but from a content creator's perspective and people who compete, I don't compete, so like it doesn't affect me as much. Do you guys enjoy double elimination, or do you prefer single elimination?
I like double elimination, but I also I don't know. Here's the thing with like.
Are you talking about like if you lose a series, you got to play again?
Yeah, like so it's a winner bracket and a loser bracket.
Oh no, single elimination. Get your ass up out of there. You lose, you got to go.
Oh, I like double elimination because it shows the better team. Like the better team's probably going to be in that finals. Like for example, like when you just talked about like this is a main thing that came into my mind when you were saying who was that guard in the finals of my tourney? Jiggy versus Wins. Those weren't the 2 best guards at the beginning of the game at that time. Like those, like they happened to. I think I got rounded in that tourney to some like.
To be honest, it was you and Lai
got rounded.
And you both lost like 2nd or 3rd round.
We got rounded. I'm pretty sure, or like really early. And then you had a Jiggy versus, and you had me too. And you had a Jiggy versus fucking Wins finals at the time, which was just those. I don't even think that was top 5 guards even at that time. To where like, so that's why I just think double elimination is good because like if some fluke shit happens, like 9 times out of 10. And it's like, if you do win the winner's bracket, they have to beat you twice. And if you lose to a team twice in a series, you weren't the better team.
That's on you. You weren't the better team.
It's two different ways to look at it, though, right? So, if you do single elimination, I feel like it's more entertaining for the viewers. They're gonna take the series a lot more serious as far as what they're watching. Like, oh, it's like more, it's obviously you lose, you're gone. So it's win or go home. You gotta lock in. You gotta play for real. There's no second chances. I feel like they're gonna take every series a lot more.
You could also look at it though from the perspective, Dnell, that like you could also look at it from the perspective of like if some of the bigger names, like let's say you 3 in here, like get rounded or lose first day, then the product is not as good when it comes to the final day, right? So like the whole point of the tournament is to try to get the best competition, the best players in the final day. If the best players are getting rounded on some fluke shit, and I mean that's an argument to make on his own. Is it fluke shit or were they just not better? The product isn't as good come final day. You know what I mean? So
So
we'll
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a
go
big
ahead.
problem with the league. I was gonna say like
Right.
what you just said was what like the example you just gave the viewers of if you lose they're out. I think the league
Hell
had
no, boy.
the league tried to have that same mindset with it's a best of one until you're damn near in the like elite eight. So it's like if you
Yeah.
lose you're out. It means everything. But it realistically as a viewer like nobody's actually like other than the players like nobody's extra excited because it's a BO1 than like double elimination. I
Right.
don't know a supporter who was just like not taking a series serious if they see me versus live because if we lose, one of us will go to a loser's bracket. You know what I mean? And I think the players on the back end, if you know you have another chance, you're still about to give it. You're still trying to win everything in the winner's bracket. Like nobody's trying to lose. But let's say on the off chance, just because 2K is not a skill gapped game where the better player just wins every time because fluke shit can happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially in this game where you can green a fucking shot, time it, and you still miss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think double elimination, especially for how this game is played, would be like more reasonable than single elimination if you're talking about keeping the product like you said healthy to where the best teams are in the end. And on top of that, just the competitive integrity as a player because the game is just fluke as fuck.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get down to that point. So guys, again, first tournament is going to be October 18th to the 20th. We'll have more stuff coming out on Twitter. So just make sure you guys are staying up to date with that. We'll have tournaments all throughout the year. I do want to do some. I talked about this last year. I do want to try to plan some sort of Xbox versus PlayStation tournament where it's like an invite only tournament, like the best 8 PlayStation teams versus the best 8 Xbox teams. So we'll work on something like that down the road. But we ran a little bit over time, so I want to let you guys go. I know at least Fanta and Lai, you guys have been streaming and doing your thing all day. So I appreciate you guys jumping on and being a part of it. And I'll see you guys in the first tournament coming up in October. So everyone in chat, obviously, if you're not following Dnell, Fanta, Lai, like make sure you guys are all going to follow them. So appreciate you guys 3 coming on. We're gonna take a quick little break. I get my boy in here to talk over some of the UFC fights this weekend, and then we'll jump into NFL and college to finish off the stream. So give me about 5 minutes as we get that transition for my boy to come in and talk to you guys about the UFC fight coming up this weekend with Sean O'Malley. Then we'll jump into some college football and NFL picks to close it out, and then I'll see you guys for episode 4 on Friday. So we'll be back here in about 5 minutes, guys. Appreciate it.
in the pod. About to do the first pod ever with your boy Z. Excited about it. I know this pod is mainly a 2K type of pod, but I thought I'd switch it up a little bit and bring some of my flavor into it. So I'm here, just, I know they ran a little late, so I'm not going to, take all of your time. But I did want to talk about the UFC fights coming up this weekend. I don't know if we have any fans in chat. If there's anyone in the chat that's a UFC fan, let me know. But I'm basically going to talk about the 3 fights on the main card that I'm familiar with, and kind of just my thoughts, my picks, and just kind of show you guys, that kind of perspective. So I'm going to start with the featherweight fight. We've got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez, yes, the fight is in the Sphere. I guess, we could go there first. So this is the first event that's ever going to be in the Sphere, and it's the last event that's ever going to be in the Sphere. Dana White said that there was an issue with trying to get the MGM Grand, and how Canelo, what is his name? Canelo, the boxer. He ended up getting the fight at the MGM Grand. So now they're going to go to the Sphere and switch it up. He said it's a $20 million project. It's the most expensive project they've ever done. And it's, once and done kind of deal. So it's going to be dope. I mean, it's going to be an exciting card. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff. Exactly. It's going to be a movie in between rounds, which is very different. So if you guys are getting the pay-per-view, or if you guys are streaming it, you're going to notice throughout the whole event that it's just a very different experience than, what they would typically have for UFC fights. So that's pretty dope. And on top of that, the cards are pretty lit. So they've got some good fights. Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez, look out for that fight. That is the fight before the co-main event. Brian Ortega had kind of an up and down career. He's known for his grappling. He almost put Alex Volkanovski in a rear naked choke one time, which was very close. He could have got the title there. I don't know, man. He's a very good fighter. Diego Lopez, though, is on the up and coming, 25-6. Solid fighter. So if I were to make a bet on that fight, even though I'm not a betting professional, so don't take my advice with a grain of salt, I definitely think Diego Lopez is probably going to win that fight. I think that Brian Ortega is kind of at the end of his career. I think he's been beaten up way too many times. I just don't see that fight really going in his favor. So I would definitely say that Brian Ortega is going to lose that one, and Diego Lopez is going to take it. Now, how is he going to take it? I don't know. They're both grapplers. So most likely, I think Diego's probably going to win in the striking, and he might knock him out in the first or second round. So if I were betting, I'd probably say Diego by knockout. So that's that fight. Then the next fight, we've got the flyweight championship against Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. That's going to be a good fight. Just a little history on what the theme is at the Sphere. They're celebrating Mexican Independence Day, so the whole entire Sphere is going to be revolved around just Mexican theme, and repping all the Mexican fighters throughout the history. Alexa Grasso is a Mexican fighter, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I believe they fought twice, and Shevchenko lost the first time, if I'm correct, and then the second time was a draw. So that's going to be a crazy fight this time. If I were to say who was going to win, I'd probably lean towards Alexa, only because of the fact, the whole card is revolving around the Mexican theme. So she's going to have that energy. She's going to see those movies. She's going to see that history, like Badger's talking about in the chat. And she's going to, I don't know. I think that that's going to be enough fuel for her to say, you know what, I'm taking it. I'm bringing that fight, and she's going to pull it through. So I would think that Alexa Grasso would win. I do think that this fight will be a 5-round fight. I do think that it'll go to decision. I don't think anyone's sleeping anyone or tapping anyone out. I definitely think that it's going to the decision. So, yeah, I take Alexa Grasso by decision. So that's my prediction. Now, the main event. I'm super hype about this fight. I think this fight's going to be very, very dope. You got Sean O'Malley versus Merab. And I'd say the biggest thing about this fight is that Sean O'Malley's career is kind of on the line, but it's typically always on the line. But for some reason, I just feel like this one's a little special. This one hits a little different. He's finally getting his chance in front of all the lights, in front of all the crowd. And I think that he needs to win this fight. And I think he knows that. So I do think he's going to go out there, and I do think he's going to fight a great fight. My big question with Sean O'Malley is he going to fold under the pressure, or is he going to show up under the pressure? I saw him running down the street training by my house. Oh, that's lit. What? That's so cool. Yeah. I think Sean O'Malley could definitely pull it off, but I will say Merab is a beast. Merab has insane cardio and insane wrestling, and those two could be a nightmare for Sean. Although, so did Aljo, which is the fight that he fought 2 fights ago to win the title. Aljo is also a training partner of Merab. So they both train together. They both have the same kind of style, the same grit, the same wrestling. So, I don't know. Merab is a tough fight. Merab is definitely a tough fight. He's a strong ox who does not give up. But I just think that Sean O'Malley is going to find his chin. Right there. You see that shot right perfect to the chin? I think Sean O'Malley is doing that same thing to Merab. I could be wrong, and Sean could get bullied the whole fight. It's a hard call. But if I were to say who I think's going to win, I would say Sean O'Malley by TKO in either the first or the second round. I think he's going to piece him up, baby. I think he's going to do it. I'm really confident. If it goes into the later rounds, might be a problem for O'Malley, but I think he's got it in him. I think he's going to knock him out. It's one of those things where some people are just destined for greatness. Like you saw Conor McGregor, he kind of had this high that everyone gravitated to and everyone loved, and everyone thought, this guy is just the man. He's invincible. Obviously, you saw he wasn't. He got pieced up by Mayweather and kind of went downhill from there. But at the time, every dog has its day. And I think that today's day is Sean O'Malley's day. I think he's going to show up. I think he's going to be under the bright lights. He's going to perform. And I think that he's going to knock him out. So if I were a betting man, I'd say O'Malley by knockout, first or second round. And I will say the last 2 times I bet on O'Malley, I won. So don't take my word for it. Take the money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, I'm not a trained professional, but I got Sean O'Malley winning in either the first or second round. His wife is Mexican. That is actually a fact too. Yeah, so I definitely think that's dope. She's going to be in there getting celebrated, and then her man's going to knock that thing out. So yeah, I think that overall, really good fights, really exciting fights. As more cards come up, I'm definitely going to start talking about more fights, getting Brandon involved, get him up to speed with all that. He's going to get me up to speed with the 2K stuff too. Get me kind of, in the mix. Obviously this is a new stream. We're just kind of starting out, but we're going to kind of smooth things out and figure out how it goes as we ride. But yeah, these UFC fights are going to be dope, and I definitely am excited for it. And we're going to continue to talk about them as they come up. But like I said, Sean O'Malley by knockout. So that's where I'm at. Yo, Mar, are we talking about the NFL stuff next, or what? Should I get Brandon and Jersey? Okay. All right, boys. Well, I think that's it for me. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go to a quick break. I'm going to get Brandon. We also have our friend Jersey, who's coming in. I think they call him, what's his nickname again? Parlay J. He's the man. They're going to talk a little bit about some NFL stuff. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that likes NFL, but, our goal with this stream is to kind of mix it up and to bring all different sorts of sports your way. I know obviously 2K is the main fight, or is the main topic for the stream, but we're going to switch it up. We're going to try new things. Excited about it. So I'm going to bring my boys in. We're going to go to a break now, and then I'm going to bring my boys in to talk about the NFL. Peace.
boys. All right, yo, what's up? We back. My boy Z came in, ran the fucking UFC picks for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna mix that type of shit in week by week. Obviously, we're gonna stick with the 2K shit, but we're also gonna jump into some sports and get you guys acclimated with some sports. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm a big FSU guy, college guy, and I got my boy Jersey here with me today. Been my boy since fucking 8th grade, 7th
Probably
grade.
longer than
Yeah,
that. I went to your 6th grade birthday
long time.
party.
Yeah, long. Like we had Halo hooked up at the party and shit.
Yeah.
Weren't you at the party when we hit the kid in the head with the fucking melon? Was that Schneider?
Brandon
Yo,
Schneider. He hit me up. He's actually in jail for
No, he hit me up to slide the cash app. Yeah. So
he hit me
there's some
up
shit
too,
going
yeah,
on over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
We'll leave that to another episode.
Free
But
Schneider, man.
yeah, so my boy Z came in, did UFC, a little nervous, but he's gonna get used to that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. He's the UFC guy. I'm gonna stick to the football shit. My boy Jersey, big football guy also. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with college. So we're gonna talk about this week's college matchups. We'll tell you guys who we like in those matchups. My boy Jersey also has a Discord that you guys can go in where you get picks all throughout the week. I mean, you do shit from baseball, NFL, college.
Yeah, everything. Parlay J, I'm giving out free picks right now. We're not charging right now. We just want to build a community and build up the community, give back a little bit. So I'm dropping parlays. I got my hammer pick, which would be like my favorite pick of the night. I'll drop an NFL pick, a MLB pick.
Yeah.
We got WNBA. We got the whole thing. I'm dropping everything.
And you're like, the last week I saw you're up like 25 units.
Yeah, for the past 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks that I've been running the core, we're probably up only maybe a couple hundred members right now. But we've been plus 25 units for the past 2 weeks.
That's fire.
So going pretty well. We're about 11-3 on our hammer plays.
Fire.
We've hit maybe 9 parlays so far in the 2 weeks. So
Fire.
it's looking pretty good. We're just giving out good expert information and helping people out.
Yeah. So if you guys are into that shit, 100% check it out. It's in the Discord or it's in the chat. Sorry, you click on it. It's like you said, free to enter. You guys can get picks, follow him. He'll have stuff for you guys all throughout the week. I follow him for my NFL picks as well, and we collab on like different college shit and stuff of that nature. So we'll jump right into it. We'll talk about the college games this week. Then we'll jump into NFL. There's not too many lines set for player props for this week, this early, so we won't be able to talk too much about NFL player props besides the Wednesday game. But we'll give you guys who we like, just straight outright picks, head-to-head matchups. So Marv, if you want to jump into, let's jump into college, Marv, first. Let's go college and then we'll go NFL.
It's a light slate for college this week. I don't feel like there's
not too many huge games. There's not. So I gave him a couple that I like. So we'll talk about. So first one, guys, you see we got Notre Dame versus Purdue. I don't know if you want to pull up the line. What is it? They're probably minus
spread at 10.5 Notre Dame.
So this is a tough one because Notre Dame obviously comes off a big win against Texas A&M in Texas A&M. People always argue Texas A&M, one of the hardest places to play in the country, the 12th man, blah, blah, blah. I don't really fall for it. I think they're overhyped every single year.
Absolutely.
Wegman also I just think is mid. And after that video came out of him with the magician, I think he's a cornball. I 100% bet against that kid.
Yeah.
I took Notre Dame in that game plus the points.
Yeah.
They obviously covered
and
won that one.
We both we talked about that game where we liked Notre Dame. We also liked the under in that game. There wasn't too much scoring going on that game. I feel like both quarterbacks are kind of both of those quarterbacks are kind of still figuring it out right now.
Right. Also two new coaches.
Yeah, new coaches as well. I'm not fully sold on the Riley Leonard kid, but there's things that I have seen from him that he looks all right. He can get outside the pocket a little bit. He can shuffle. He's pretty big, but I mean, passing the ball, he hasn't been too accurate. He hasn't looked too great.
But then the problem is they go home and they lose to fucking Northern Illinois.
That was the
crib.
The defense still looked all right in that game, so I don't want to discount them too much. I mean, they are playing Purdue.
But you scored 16 points against Northern Illinois.
The
at
offense
home.
is a huge concern.
I mean, that's like
a huge
concern. That's bad.
Huge
concern. Really bad. So this right here is this at Purdue or is
this is at Purdue? I would probably lean towards taking the points here.
It's like what does Purdue got? They're a team that's like. They have Purdue's one of those teams where it's like 1 year. It's like, okay, they got some guys.
Yeah,
they'll give you a little upset years.
Yeah, they have times where they grab players here and there. You'll see in the NFL a lot of mid to late round guys come out of Purdue and stuff like that. So they have talent that comes from the actual school. They don't have a too crazy of a talented offense here. Their quarterback is really kind of like a dink and dunk type of guy. There's not really too much over the top type of stuff. They don't really have those down the field weapons like that. It may be another under game. You may 45.5 is the under.
I like that.
I mean, if you take that, maybe you buy a couple points, you buy it up 47, 48, somewhere around that line. I think you're pretty safe with that.
Yeah.
If you're looking,
I like that.
If you're looking for a play in this game, because we just really don't know where we're getting out of Notre Dame as a team. But we know their defense looks good. They've played good defense both games.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with you. I would go the under. I would probably try to grab a little bit of points on that game and go on the under.
Right.
Notre Dame hasn't shown you anything in 2 games that they can really move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say like they're going up against a powerhouse, but like you have to go off what you've seen, and we haven't seen too much yet. If you were a guy who doesn't like to go with points and like you're more of like the spread guy, I mean, it's hard for me to say like you take Notre Dame minus 10.5, like away.
It's a lot to give up on the road for a team that really.
I would almost say
anything,
you go like Purdue if you can maybe get a little extra, maybe like plus.
Well, looking at these games for what Purdue's done, Purdue's put up 35 on Indiana and then put up 49 on Indiana State. So, I mean, not too great of defenses, obviously, not like anything to compare of, but they at least can score the ball. If Notre Dame can neutralize that, if this turns into a lopsided
I mean, Notre Dame does have a
game,
good defense.
If Notre Dame turns this into a lopsided game, I still think the under is protected.
Yeah.
I still think you're protected.
Agreed.
On the under, because if Notre Dame does win this game, I think they're going to win it off of their defense.
Yep.
And I think you'll be protected with the under there.
Yep.
And I like that as a better call. I wouldn't think this would be a shootout where Purdue's putting 28 up and Notre Dame's matching them and they're going back and forth. I wouldn't look for that. I think the under is probably the safest bet on this pick here.
Agreed. Cool. So I think we both agree there, guys. If you touch that, we're going under. Next game, we're going to go LSU versus South Carolina. I'll say I picked Kentucky to cover against South Carolina at home, and Kentucky looked like absolute shit.
Yeah, they got blown up.
I mean, absolute shit.
They got absolutely blown up.
So
I did
that
see a
was
lot
surprising.
Of people like that pick as well. That Kentucky game, I wasn't really too big of a fan on that game.
Well, Carolina didn't look good at home in week 1.
They didn't. I'm looking at Carolina right here. What is the spread? We got 8.5 LSU's given on the road.
And LSU didn't look bad against USC. They really probably should have won the game.
Right.
I mean, they really had the game won. They gave up 14 points in the 4th quarter.
Right.
They should have won that game. It's just
there's playmakers on the LSU offense. I think they're able to make plays. Neusenheimer's not really an amazing playmaking quarterback himself, but he does enough to
he can get the ball to playmakers.
Get into the playmakers. He's doesn't really turn the ball over too much. Doesn't really take too many big shots, but he's very accurate intermediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I still like LSU in this game.
Yep. Agreed.
But I'm not really sure if I like 8.5. It could be a touchdown game. I think this one's a close one to call.
What time is this game at?
This is a noon kickoff in South Carolina. So I mean, it's gonna be hot as fuck. But
at least it's not a night game and it's not rocking.
Right.
You know, LSU's used to the heat.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know if that'll play too much a factor. Coaching wise, I would favor Kelly.
Right.
I think that South Carolina quarterback Sellers is okay. I don't think he's terrible.
He doesn't.
They have that one receiver who's not bad. I forgot his name, but he's like a 99 speed in college football. He's actually not. He's not bad.
Bennett,
he's not bad.
Yeah,
but all around, like I think trenches. I think playmakers. I think LSU has the better team.
Right. I'm still not sold on LSU's defense, but I don't think South Carolina has the playmakers on offense really to be too worried about for LSU having to with their defense.
Yeah. So if you were going this game, what are you thinking? Are you thinking an over/under game? Are you thinking
it's probably not my favorite one to grab? It wouldn't be my favorite pick, but I would probably take LSU. I would try to see if I can buy some points to get under a touchdown spread here. If I was doing a teaser, obviously I would try to get that down to like
I would love
or 2.5 or something like that. I feel like that'd be the safest play, or I just wouldn't play it at all. I think it's still a little bit too early on both of these teams to really know the identity for both.
I think that's one thing too that you guys,
or at least LSU
people that gamble, need to understand too is like you don't have to take every game. Like if you don't feel like it's a good game, just stay away from it. Right? Like if it's a toss up, just stay away. Just stay away from it. It's okay to stay away from it. I think you have to learn that. So this is probably a game. Like I agree with Jersey. I probably stay away from it. If you were telling me I need to bet on it, I would probably lean towards LSU to cover. If you could get it under a touchdown, like Jersey said, I think that makes more sense to me.
Right.
I think LSU showed you more flashes on what they can be.
Yeah.
It's just more about will they execute and be that.
I trust the playmakers. I wouldn't say I trust the quarterback, but I know he's not going to turn the football over, and I think that could be a big factor.
Agreed. Okay, so moving on, we got Oregon State. The line on this, I think, is like 14. Oregon, I think, is minus 14.
Yeah, 14.
So this is another tough one.
I'm really not a Dillon Gabriel fan or a believer at all.
But going into this year, it was like Oregon was top 5. Like this was the year. You know what I mean? Like they got Dillon Gabriel coming in. They got Tez back. They got people back there.
They're supposed to be loaded on defense, and I don't know. I haven't really seen it. I mean
they were in a struggle bus.
They played
Idaho at home, 1 by 10.
Yeah, and I mean, they held them to 14, but who really cares about that? Boise State ran all up and down the field. Ashawn
Genty.
Genty.
I mean, he's legit.
Genty. He's insane.
He's averaging 10.3 yards a carry.
He's definitely going to be one of the best backs.
9 touchdowns in 2 games.
He's out of this world. He's super talented.
Now he did run that up in week 1.
They ran all over them for a team that says they have reloaded on defensive line and they're supposed to be a
what's the over in this game?
Type of team. 50.5.
Ooh,
that's a weird spot for it. Vegas probably put that up there so you kind of lean towards grabbing the over, but I don't think Oregon is. I don't know. This Oregon State team.
I think Oregon will score.
They held San Diego State to a donut last week, so
which is surprising because I saw some experts, quote unquote experts,
right,
took San Diego State plus the points.
Right, to get held at a donut at home at any time is pretty tough. And then the week before, letting only up 15.
I kind of like the over, though.
The Oregon State team might not be too bad on defense, and I'm really just not a fan of this Oregon team. I'm not a believer in Dillon Gabriel. He's the king of the dink and dunk, the screen pass, it's like the same
check
thing
down
that,
merchant.
The Bo Nix type of thing that we.
But Bo was putting up points though.
Bo looked all right this week. I don't think Bo looked bad.
But last year in Oregon, he was putting up points.
But I've seen Bo's skill set in the Auburn offense to know that what he was doing with Oregon was a little bit dumbed down for him.
He's also playing worse defenses. In the SEC, he was a turnover merchant.
Of course. So, yeah, you can get the ball out to those speedy guys and let them go crazy and move around.
This is probably another one I probably would stay away from.
If anything, I would take the Oregon State plus 14. I think that's 2 touchdowns.
In-state rivalry, 2.
It's an in-state rivalry.
What time's this game at?
You're on the road. This is a 3:30 game. You're on the road. It's tough to play on the road in college football, no matter where you're going. 14 points just seems like
especially in an in-state rivalry. That's the scary part. Like, and I coming from a college guy, like in-state rivalry is like anything can go. Doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter what the team's record is. Doesn't matter who's ranked what.
Right.
So I don't disagree with that. I think the 2 choices would be probably Oregon State plus the points, or I might go over. Just because
I'm not mad at the over.
Oregon hasn't shown me too much.
The line is placed at a weird spot where Vegas does these things where they try to get you to lean a certain way. Obviously,
I could almost see this being a
team. So
I could almost see this being like a 34-17 type game. I don't know. That's kind of where my head goes right now.
Mad at that. Yeah.
Eventually, I think Oregon's going to show up, and what better week to show up? What better week to show up than a rivalry game?
I think they're due for a loss.
You think they're due for a loss?
I think they're due for a loss. I don't know what team's going to do it. I have to look at their schedule to see. But from the 2 games that I've seen, they're not well put together at all.
I respect that.
Well put together at all. And last week, I think Boise State was 19.5. The spread was, which was
and we took
even
them
more than
we took them plus 26.5.
I mean, I teased it and took them at 26.5, and that was delicious. They almost won. I said before the game too. I said before the game when talking to some friends that I was like, I almost like.
We got our boy
Boise
Kyle
State
Harry in the chat from Palm Beach Central.
What was that?
Kyle Harry from PBC. You remember Kyle Harry from PBC?
I'm better with faces.
Kyle Harry, bro.
I'm better with
remember
faces.
Eric Marcus?
Yeah.
Brand Schneider, Kyle Harry.
I'm better with faces.
Well, I know Kyle Harry. You knew Kyle Harry. You'll know Kyle Harry. Kyle was good, my boy. Kyle Harry, man. That's OG, man.
Kyle Harry. I had to see.
So yeah, Jersey likes plus 14.5 or plus 14.
14, yeah. Or you even buy it at a half, just
or
to be
buy it
safe
at a half
with the 2 touchdown spread. You can even grab the over if you want to pull it down a little bit too. If you wanted to do like a little 2-teamer, grab Oregon State plus the over. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Not mad at that. So I don't mind that. All right,
Oregon
next one.
Is due for a loss. I don't know who's going to give.
They're either due for a loss or they're due for a good game.
That's true.
It's one or the other.
That's
so
true.
I mean, I guess it's a flip of the coin on that end and on what side you're going to get. So moving forward, we got Oklahoma versus Tulane.
Okay.
Oklahoma in week 1 looked good.
Right.
Week 2 didn't look as good.
Tulane had
Tulane
a
looked
great
good.
game last week versus Kansas
Looked
State.
real
They
good.
hung in there and they fought pretty hard.
They looked good. They were up.
looked pretty well.
They were up.
They blew that
So what's
lead.
the line on this one?
We're looking 13.5 Oklahoma at
In
home.
Oklahoma at home. I just think. I mean,
Tulane played a great game last week, and they came up short. Sometimes that's just really defeating.
it's hard to come back from that.
It's really tough to come back from that. Sometimes, like, you give your all in a game like that, and thinking you're going to beat a team, especially if they're at home. Now you're going on the road to play Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma didn't look insanely great last week, and I mean they blew Temple up the first week, and Temple is complete.
Who they play
dog
last
shit.
week?
They played Houston.
What was that score?
And that was 16-12.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
They blew Temple out week
Blew
1,
them
but
out.
that's expected.
Temple's dog shit.
Complete dog
Yeah,
shit. Like
terrible.
complete terrible. They should ban the program at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, stick to like, I don't know, water polo or something. I don't know what they're playing over there.
Golf or something.
Yeah, they're not playing football. I'll tell you that.
They're not playing football over there. That's for sure.
I just think it's a tough spot for Tulane. I think to go through a dogfight fight like you had against
Right.
Kansas State, and then have to go to Oklahoma.
Right.
You might be running on fumes a little bit.
Right.
I feel like.
I think 13.5. It's a 2-touchdown thing. I think Oklahoma can,
I think
even
they
if this
cover.
is a close game, I think they can pull away.
I think they end up winning this game by 17-21. Is
Yeah.
where I'm looking at.
I like Oklahoma in this game. Arnold's been pretty decent this year. They got guys.
They do.
got guys. Oklahoma's not I don't think they're one of the best teams in the country, but I think
No.
I think
They're
they
a
got
fringe
guys.
playoff team.
Tulane may have blew their load last week playing
Yep.
their best game versus Kansas State, or hey, maybe they're actually a really good team. But I think when we'll see this week, obviously with Tulane.
What's the points in this game?
47.5.
I wouldn't touch that.
Which is a little bit strange.
Yeah, I don't know if I touch that. Especially fucking
it seems
Oklahoma
low.
dropping 16.
It
though.
seems low, even though Oklahoma dropped 16. It does seem low. Oklahoma's not going to be a team that just scores in the teens all year.
What was the score of the game?
34-27. That's a pretty high score.
Was that an overtime game?
No. That's 61 points. That's
It
a
is
pretty
a
high
lot.
scoring game. The week before, Tulane put up 52. And then the week before, Oklahoma
Damn.
put up 51. So we're talking about teams that have already touched this over
High
on their
numbers.
own with
Yeah.
47. So I mean, 47 seems not too bad, honestly.
Yeah, I just worry that Tulane, like you said, might have blown their load a little bit, and they come in this game a little flat.
Right.
And
for
if
sure.
if they don't keep it close in the first half, I think it gets ugly, and it could
Oklahoma obviously has a pretty good defense.
Yeah. I think if they don't keep this game competitive in the first half, that Oklahoma could run away with this, and you
Right.
could see a 21 point
right.
win.
Yeah.
So
It could be somewhere 34-10 or
yeah,
you know,
I think I would. I
41.
like Oklahoma to cover in that game. I'll be real.
Yeah, I like Oklahoma.
I think they got too much, man.
That would be my favorite pick.
I think they got
as
too
far
much.
as far as that, and probably my favorite pick we've ran through so far.
Yeah, I like
Out
that.
of everything that we ran
I like
through,
that.
I would say Oklahoma sticks out the
Yep.
most right now.
I like that.
I
All
think
right,
they're
moving
due for an
on.
explosion.
We got Arizona
Arizona
versus
and
Kansas State.
Hmm.
This Arizona team is sneaky.
They're very sneaky.
That quarterback is nice.
Fafita
and McMillan or whatever is legit.
McMillan is definitely legit.
Legit.
He's going to be one of the top top rated receivers.
Week one. What do you have? 300 yards
Yeah.
and 4 tutties.
Ridiculous.
I mean, they played
Ridiculous.
whoever they played. No one great.
Did he play last week?
I don't know if he played last week, but they are legit and they can move the rock. I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised here that
the spread. They're underdogs here at 7.5. Obviously, like we said, we don't know how legit Tulane is versus the Kansas State game, but they were in a dogfight with them. They're not a ranked team.
I almost like Arizona plus the points.
They're not a team that we have known to be a really good team. Or
Arizona had a
powerhouse.
good year last year too.
I like Arizona.
And how much did they lose?
They're plus 240 on the money line. Listen, going into Kansas State is a really, really tough place to play. It
is
really, really hard spot to play.
But I like mobile quarterbacks.
Bill Schneider
I like
Stadium
mobile quarterbacks.
I do.
That kid's mobile.
Right.
And him and that wide receiver,
Mhm.
they played in high school together.
Right.
They got a connection.
They do.
That kid is legit. McMillan will be a top receiver off the board.
He's going to be one of the.
So Chance said he likes Arizona. I'll be real, bro. I like Arizona plus the points. If
I like
was
Arizona
gonna bet
plus the points 1,000%.
If you're real confident, fuck it.
Like
Smack
I said,
it money
yeah,
line.
if you want to throw something light on it, or you want to go for the money line, or you want to throw it on like some silly fucking parlay, and you want to win $1 bajillion, then yeah, you go to plus 240. It's a risk, but I think Arizona could definitely win this game, and plus 7.5 seems really nice.
It does. It does.
It seems really nice. The over-under is 58.5.
Oh, it's a lot.
That is definitely a lot.
I mean, Arizona can score in bunches.
They definitely
and
can.
I mean, Tulane put up numbers against Kansas State. They put up 27.
I'm not in love with that number.
I'm not either.
But I do like the 7.5.
I do.
That's definitely the favorite dog for sure.
I do. So I think
I like them more than I like Oregon State, but I still like Oregon
I would
State
say we would say take the points with Arizona. If you're feeling froggy, fuck it, slap the money line.
Fucking just leap for it.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't hate you if you took the money line.
Right.
So moving on. Arizona couldn't score against a smaller school. I mean, but Arizona, man, like consistently they can score. So to me, like I have to favor a team that I've seen consistently
only have
score.
22 points last week, so I understand that.
Right, I see the concern. So moving on, we got Alabama versus Wisconsin. This is at Wisconsin. This is a what time game?
This is a noon game.
Noon game. Wisconsin can get rocking.
Weird place to see Alabama playing.
Very weird.
Wisconsin,
but Wisconsin can get rocking. They be jumping around in that stadium. They get lit. But like,
rocking.
What is
Van Dyke? I'm not sold
what
on.
Is Wisconsin? No, that guy is. I'm sorry. That guy. I'll look at the camera. That Van Dyke, he is trash.
Right. They're 2-0. They've obviously played nobody. They played South Dakota State and Western Michigan. And they've been within 2-score games. They haven't even blown
And I
think,
out. I mean, Jalen Milroe is probably.
This spread is 16.
Jalen Milroe is most dynamic.
I'd love to see what the first half spread is.
You love Alabama first half spreads.
That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite picks.
Even though they hooked us against USF.
They definitely have. People got caught on to that as far as Vegas. Vegas definitely caught on to the Alabama.
Because the first week, what was it? We had them in the first half spread for week 1, and they were up like 40-0.
Like it was something ridiculous. It was like the sweetest money ever. It felt like free money. It felt like candy from a baby.
I would be interested to see their first half if it is something like a 10.
Yeah,
I would smack that.
Get it somewhere around a touchdown, even 7-8. Like it's 16, so it's usually about half. They'll probably put it at about 9.
I would smack that.
I mean,
I'd smack that 100%.
I'm not upset with that.
No. Jalen Milroe is. I get it. People have their thoughts on Jalen Milroe. He is dynamic.
Right.
Dynamic. He's a guy that can put up points in bunches.
Right.
Kalen DeBoer is a very good coach. Like, yes, he's new at Alabama, but if you look at his record, he has a crazy record of like 120 and like 14. Or something.
This freshman kid is ridiculous.
No, Ryan Williams. They got dogs. They got players for sure.
Ridiculous.
I mean, talent wise, they don't.
He's like 17, right?
Yeah,
he's ridiculous.
Talent wise, they don't match up. I mean, Alabama blows them out the water.
Right.
So, like Jersey said, I would look at a first half spread here. If you can get something like 9.5, 10 points, I would smack Alabama.
We talked about this a little bit earlier. Bama looked a little weird early versus USF.
USF always plays them hard, though.
Struggled against them previously in the past, and they've still been who they are.
Yeah,
I think these lines are still very low at Alabama right now because people don't know
what
they are without Saban, but they're still loaded with talent. And they're still gonna beat teams to shit. They're still gonna beat the fuck out of teams. So 16.5 seems not too bad at all. Or 16.
If you can get that even to like, I don't even hate if you take them like -14. If you can get them -14 for the game.
Anytime you can go under 2 scores.
I like
anytime you can buy extra points. I'm always in agreement. I'm buying points. Whether you got to pay the extra juice or you're throwing it on a parlay and it chips your odds down just a little bit. Whatever it is, buy the points. Like it always pays off in the end. It always does.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks. Like I was living in New York the past couple of years. Like. Or New Jersey,
right?
Like, we don't get college player props in Florida.
Yeah, we don't get player props in college. That would be.
I was doing that up there a lot.
Really?
Yeah,
was
I like
sweet?
that. It's never sweet.
Yeah, it's never sweet. Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you guys.
Vegas knows what they're doing.
Talking about I was raking in boatloads because I wasn't raking in no boatloads. But it just makes the game a little bit more interesting when you got player prop lines. You know what I'm saying?
It's always fun tracking the game.
Right. So yeah, again, guys, see if you can get an Alabama first half spread. Wouldn't mind that at like a 9 or a 10 or even like 14 for the full game. So
if
moving on,
under 10 for the first half, I would take it. And then same thing if we can get 2 touchdowns.
Moving on, you know I had to do the homer. You know we had to talk about my guys. You see that we got the helmet on the side right there. You know we got the guys. Listen, and chat, feel free. I know we've been some shit, so let it rain. I don't give a fuck. You can stone me all you want, all right? But I'm gonna tell you right now, this spread is -5.5.
Spread's 5.5,
and it's at the crib. What time is this game? It's a noon game. We suck. We're not hitting nighttime no more.
Do you think you're getting the
We're
win?
Nooners now.
You think, no, this is a new team.
We're Nooners all year.
This is a new team.
I read something the other day. I said Florida State is gonna be on Temu.
It's not gonna be on ESPN. That's for sure.
I don't got Temu.
It'll be on Stream East.
But I'm telling you right now, Florida State -5.5. We're winning the game. We're covering at home. This is the game where it's like, this is the decision game for me. Okay. I think DJU is on a short leash this week. I think if he comes out and is shit in the sheets like
who's behind DJU?
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You put a running back, you run Wildcat all game. I don't care. I don't care. This is a short leash for DJU this week. If he comes out and is shit in the sheets, Mike Norvell's telling him, put the fries in the bag. He's hitting the bench.
Bring it up, buddy.
They're either hitting the Wildcat or we're seeing the backups come in.
It's crazy though with DJU. There's flashes sometimes where I see him make great plays, and there's other times where he just looks like. And I don't know if it's the protection or if it's just like.
But I also think a part of it. I also think, bro, a part of it is this: when you coming into expectations, it makes you play different.
Right.
You're coming into a team that was undefeated last year. The biggest snub in college football history.
There's just too much turnover on this team,
right?
To look even.
But now,
look at last year. But the fan base was.
But now there's nothing to lose.
Year.
There's nothing to lose now.
Right.
You're 0-2. You lost 2 games as double-digit favorites.
Right.
Fuck it now.
Right. You're being laughed at already.
Fuck it.
So
you already
get laughed at it. Throw the tomatoes and get it over.
Like, I mean, my thing is this: we got to find a healthy balance. First game, we didn't throw the ball enough.
Right.
Second game, we threw the ball too damn much.
Right.
So we need to find a healthy balance. I don't need fucking DJU throwing 45 passes.
Right.
We need to get that 100, 150 yards on the ground. I think ultimately, roster-wise, we are still the better roster. We have 5 stars across the board. We have talent.
Right.
It's just you got to show up. I'm taking the boys -5.5 at home.
I looked at this Memphis team.
I just am.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's fucking Memphis, bro.
Memphis. You can say what you like, but Memphis is not dog shit. They have a nice 2-headed running back. They have this Brian Thomas kid who's their big like thunder back. And then they have another kid, Anderson. He's a speedy lightning guy.
So you're telling me,
he's got a nice shoulder. Hennigan at quarterback. I know he's not a crazy name.
I've heard about him. He's solid.
Takes care of the ball. I checked them out. They're not a bad team. They're a
team.
The thing that scares me about this game is seeing how not physical FSU's defenses looked at the back end level.
Well, this is where it changes.
Between linebacker, this is where it changes.
This is where it changes.
Linebacker, safety, corner. Number 1 and 8 are like maybe the most dog shit tacklers I've ever seen.
This is where the spark.
In my entire life.
This is where the freshmen
and those running backs are moving. Even the kid that I'm telling you that's a fast kid, Anderson, he still packs a punch when he comes through. And they take care of the ball. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than you're thinking it's going to be.
I respect it.
I think it's a little bit closer. I mean, and Doak is always a tough place to play, but I mean, we've seen some shit. BC already going. I do like Castellanos. I know.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Maybe a little
Kyler Murray.
BC's a little bit underrated. I've seen him work his magic
bro.
before. I've been on the other side of a bet, and he's fucked me up before. So
well, listen, I would say take Jersey side on this because I'm taking the boys -5.
I think this is a game we stay away from, to be honest with you. But
-5.
If you want a shot at a dog, I don't think Memphis is a bad pick. I mean,
ain't no way we start the fucking season 0-3. The boys are rolling.
And I don't know who's the week after that. Who's the week after for Florida State?
Cal. I think it's Cal.
And Cal just won versus Auburn.
Check that. I think it's Cal. But listen, man, Florida State -5. I agree if you stay away from it. I'm a homer. So listen.
No,
I'm just going to tell you where I'm rocking. I think eventually the boys click. I'm not saying we're about to make a fucking 10-0 run and go to the ACC championship.
You got Cal, SMU, then Clemson.
Yeah. We're fucking winning 2 in a row. And we're playing Clemson.
You're probably going to lose to Miami.
Man, fuck that.
Duke hasn't looked good, but they're a talented team still. I like Malik Murphy. I'm waiting for them to kind of blow up and put it all together right here.
So what are you saying? We win 4 games this year?
Oh. It's rough, brother. I'm looking down here.
Are you saying we go from
Notre Dame's going to be hard to score on? I know they're not electric on offense.
They can't
North Carolina's not bad. The Gators, we don't really know what they are yet. I like Lagway. I think Lagway's the future over there for them. They'll have to polish him up. Grant Mertz is a fucking ball sack.
Shit.
I've said that before. He was at Wisconsin last year. I remember watching games with him at Wisconsin.
Well, listen, the thing is, if Billy Napier wants to keep his job at Florida, you have the hardest schedule in the country. Have you looked at Florida's schedule?
Oh yeah, Florida's schedule is insane.
I mean, it's actually a joke. Whoever did that to them, but
I think that's good if you're going to build up a quarterback. If
but that should be illegal though.
No, absolutely.
There's look at their schedule. It's actually
I don't know what
insane.
They were thinking, like looking at the schedule. They got A&M, Tennessee's they're gonna get rocked. Georgia, they're gonna get rocked. They got Texas rocked.
LSU,
Ole Miss rocked.
It's rough. Man. I mean, we look like a tough game now. Who knows? We're fucking patty cake.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time obviously to get everything together. Like I said, there's a lot of turnover at LSU.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of guys. There's transfers. There's fucking portals. There's so much turnover, and that's why I was a little bit confused on why there was so much hype around LSU going into the season, because you lost a lot of guys to the pros, like guys that were vital pieces to your team. And
we had 12 guys. Teams. 12 guys get drafted.
Yeah, I seen Jared Verse make a sack this week.
Braden Fisk is starting. Like, Keon Coleman starting.
There's guys out there like that played on your team last year. So just for Florida State fans to just think like they were gonna have like a whole.
I didn't think we were going defeated. I didn't think we were. Listen. You know me. You've known me for a long time. Right. You know where I stand with FSU.
You've always been somewhat reasonable.
Like I didn't think we were going defeated.
Right.
But I would have bet my fucking life savings that we weren't going to be 0-2 against Georgia Tech and Boston College.
I feel that.
So that's where I'm surprised. I don't think
those are two surprising teams.
I don't think we're good. I don't think we're good, but I don't think we're as bad as we are. I will say that. I just think
I got to see some grit from this.
I got to see some grit.
The defense looks like they look bored. Like the D line looks bored. Like
they look like they're too busy fucking buying goddamn diamond chains and driving Lambos and Tally. They didn't get their ass in the fucking weight room and get to hitting some shit. All these guys are getting fucking checks, but they ain't cashing shit on the field, bro. Start cashing shit or hit the portal, bro.
No,
I'm sick of that shit because motherfuckers.
It's a lot of paper.
You know what I hate? Because dudes are holding out the year before, talking about I'm jumping ship to get more bread, and where they're getting paid, and they fucking look like ass. So it's like get it figured out. I'm still going -5. I think everyone's really low on FSU right now. I think rightfully so they're low on FSU right now. I think there's still a lot of talent at FSU.
Well, the spread being 5 shows you
you're
getting 3 points for being at home.
As bad as DJ is, he was a 5-star quarterback and won 10 games at Clemson.
We haven't seen it.
No, but he didn't have a bad year last year.
I wasn't impressed with him at Clemson.
But he didn't have bad at Oregon State. He didn't play bad last year. He won 9 games.
For me watching his game, I've never really been impressed with him. There's times where
he's good enough to beat Memphis.
And looks good. It's just not. It's not convincing. It's not.
He's good enough to beat Memphis.
Is he better than Sean Hennigan? Do you think he's better than Sean Hennigan?
I don't think he's better than anyone right now.
If we're going right, so if we're going,
I mean, I just made the argument that
Memphis doesn't have I don't think that kid's a bum.
I just made an argument that we should run Wildcat all game.
No, that's what I'm telling you. So if we're looking at a quarterback matchup,
we lose every week. For sure.
And like I said, there's a lot
but I like
of soft
listen,
on FSU.
I do
like baby pillows.
I do think we have a good offensive line that's been shaky, but a lot of people don't understand. Our offensive coordinator was suspended for the first 3 games.
Right.
He's back. Wait, no, actually, he's fucking not back. Fuck it. Take
back.
Memphis, man. On to the next one. We're not talking about shit. All right. We got Boston College in Missouri. Boston College and Missouri. I think this is obviously like a heavy favorite Missouri game. Boston College is a weird team. They're sneaky, like Jersey said. Castellanos is
that kid's sneaky, man.
He's an athlete.
Seen him before.
He's an athlete. They have 2 good running backs. Trayshawn Ward used to be at Florida State.
Right.
I like him a lot. And they have that big the bully.
They creased 2 wheel routes. Well, they ran 3.
Yeah,
we're just shit. But he's fucking.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Ass Madden, like what we're doing on defense. Like,
I know it's like the cheese in Madden.
What are we talking about right
cheese
there? So they have the other running back too. They have Ward and then the big bully back. He's good. His name's like
I don't want to.
It's some like weird last name, but he's good too. Like they're a physical team. They got Bill O'Brien.
This spread is 16.5.
Yeah, but it's at Missouri.
Right.
Missouri got probably one of the best receivers in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luther Burden.
He's a home.
Brady Cook is good.
He's a homegrown.
I mean, I think Missouri rolls. I just don't know if they win by 16. I don't know.
That's actually 17.
And Missouri's what, 6th in the country?
Yeah, Missouri's 6th in the
country. I think the SEC has
that's really high.
5 teams in the top 5 or 5 teams in the top 6.
Yeah, that's really high. They haven't played anybody yet this year. They donated both teams, but it's Buffalo and fucking Murray State, so fucking they've played nobody. But I mean, 16.5 is a lot of points for a Boston College team. I mean, it's not like they've played anybody either. But
I mean, a win at Doak is a win at Doak.
Right, a win at Doak is still a win at Doak.
I gotta give them credit. They won at Doak, and they ran for 280 yards.
That's still a good dub. And then I mean, they beat Duquesne's Duquesne, whatever, but it's 56-0. Like that's still impressive. It's not a bum squad coming out and putting 56-0.
What's the over under?
53.5.
Kind of like the under.
You like the under here?
The thing is, bro, I side with these SEC teams against ACC schools.
Right.
The
differential is a lot.
I don't think you're like. I think Boston College has to run the ball.
Right.
And I don't know if they can do that against an SEC school.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
I would personally stay away from this one.
Yeah, agreed.
I think 16.5 is a big line
in
a game. Missouri's capable of getting it at home. Castellanos, like we said, he looks really good, but he looks good against these other teams. It's really tough to run around as a running quarterback.
Yeah,
and he's a smaller guy against like a SEC team like that.
Which screams like mistakes to me.
Yeah,
screams like
it could get
interceptions.
It could probably get out of hand. So I don't want to say I like the 16.5 or 17,
or it screams a lot of points.
But it could scream.
So I agree. I think it's one you just don't touch.
Yeah, it's like I said, the college slate this week is not really.
It's not great.
My favorite slate. I don't have like a pick that I would say this is my absolute love.
Yep.
But also for college, I like to get my feet wet for the first couple weeks because there's with the turnover, the transfers. You
got to learn. You got to learn about like who is who.
You got to see who players are and how these teams really gel.
Yep.
There's certain teams that you can spot immediately and know who they are. Like Texas. Like last week, we obviously called Texas with the Michigan game. Like that was an easy spot to just see the differential in talent between those two.
Absolutely.
Teams. But
especially with Michigan struggling week 1 against Fresno.
I think there's waivers out on a lot of these teams still. We still got to figure out who they are.
So that's one I would stay away from. Last one we're going to talk about for college football. We got Colorado State versus Colorado. So Colorado is traveling to Colorado State. Colorado obviously coming off the big loss against
this is a rematch
against
of
Nebraska.
That
Good game last year.
That game was
the
a
coach
beef.
Game.
That was a
Deion said he talked about his mom or something,
right? Travis Hunter hit when they hit Travis Hunter.
Knocked his ass out the game.
Yeah, that was that. This was a fun game last year. It was a night game too. I remember watching that at the house. And,
it was.
That was a fun game. Let's get the spread on this one.
I feel like this is going to be a close one. Like I feel like this is maybe like a Colorado minus 7.
Right? You would think.
Maybe even less.
You would think they're at home.
Colorado is actually away.
Probably going to bounce back. I would imagine.
Daryl, what's good? What's good, chat? We're going over college football picks, and then we're going to jump right into
let me see.
To NFL to finish off the pod. If you guys missed the beginning of the pod, we talked about 2K25 stage, Xbox versus PlayStation with Fanta, Lie, and Dnell.
This is a road game.
Road game.
This is a road game.
Road game.
Was it on the road last year as well? Yeah, right? Or no?
Typically, I feel like those games, like they alternate each year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're on the road one year, you're typically at home the next year.
I think it was in Colorado. That place was rocking though.
It was a night game. I remember that.
It was a night game. I do remember.
What's the line on this game right here?
The spread is 7, Colorado.
That's what I thought.
I mean,
Colorado State. I mean, they played Texas and didn't score.
Yeah, they didn't score versus Texas.
And then who they played next week?
Kind of suspected. And then after that, they played UNOs. I don't even know what school this is. Northern Colorado Bears.
And what was the score of that game?
Holy fuck! I didn't know that was a school.
Yeah, that's like a Mormon
I've been watching
school.
ball my entire life. I never heard of that
never.
school in my fucking entire life. 38-17.
Not impressive.
I mean, I love the Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton is a player. He's definitely nice on Colorado State. But outside of that, there's nothing too much to really love about this team.
I just think too, though, bro. Like I think Colorado is the most overrated team in college football.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Maybe outside of FSU.
I feel like that's
like
I feel like that's a given
FSU.
right now. Everybody's been feeling like that, and I think everybody like hates Colorado, and everybody's rooting on their downfall and stuff like that. But this should be an easy game. 7 doesn't feel like too much for them to take care of and handle.
I just don't know if they can get stops. Who the fuck do they stop?
They held North Dakota State's North Dakota State. It was 26 points, but I mean, and the last touchdown was like a garbage time.
Well, North Dakota State's not bad though.
But they held them to 20 points. Rayola's the next
Patty.
Fucking Patrick Mahomes, they think, and 28's not
I just
bad.
also don't love
the game was away
bro,
early,
like see like what he said,
score.
The Shador interview at the end, calling out the line and shit. I just don't know if I like that. Leaving the game, walking out early, 2 minutes left.
Too. I think that's a concern. I'm an NFL guy, really, so like I think that's a concern for possibly the league where people
he walked out the field with 2 minutes left.
I've seen certain things where people
what kind of shit is that?
Well, I understand that. I think a lot of people didn't understand the perspective of like so many people hate this kid because he's flashy and he's Deion's son and he talks the talk.
It was like a protection thing?
Whatever.
Precaution?
I would think it's a precaution thing. You're in Nebraska. These people are going to storm the field off the win.
Some crazy white people in Nebraska.
We're talking some things could happen to him, or things could be said to him that can turn into an aggressive thing. If they say something, what if somebody said something racist towards him?
Yeah, but it's like
something that was messed up. I heard him walking.
But then why isn't Travis Hunter walking out the field?
Well, Shedeur Sanders is different. He's the star of the team. He's the quarterback.
But Travis is just as high profile.
Right. He could. I think they could have did the same.
I'm just an old school guy. I'm an old school guy. I'm like, you go out there with your guys. You're there to the clock.
I'm also not a fan of the storming the field stuff with the teams.
No, I get you.
I think if you want to let these kids storm the field, and that's cool. I think like they should be the other team should be already beat in the locker room. Like,
I agree.
If we're gonna do an early exit, do an early exit.
We saw last year like
cool.
Duke, the kid got hurt.
Yeah,
hurt his leg or whatever.
It's just different. Like we've seen LeGarrette Blount and fight another guy, but different stuff. But like when there's so many people around each other, and whether a
lot of things can happen.
Sports players or other players, things can happen. And excitement, drunkenness, whatever it is. Yep. I think that was more a protection thing. I don't look at that as like a bad leadership thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I would
tough.
agree with him going off early.
It gets picked off a little bit. I don't like it personally. I think if you go out there with your guys, you stay until the clock hits 0,
right?
No matter what. And I also don't think you go on and start bashing about like how many times did Doug get touched and me. Like I don't like it personally for like chemistry reasons. But I mean, they are who they are. So like
that wasn't a great look. But they should beat
Colorado State.
Between Shedeur, Travis,
they got
Horn,
weapons.
They should be able to make something happen here. To beat this Colorado State team. This is not a really talented team outside of Torrey Horton.
Game. In-state rivalry.
It's a night game. It could be rocking there. I'm sure they're going to be boosted and hype off of last game. So I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know.
I would side Colorado -7.
Getting enough love. I know they got beat up last week, but
they just don't beat good teams though. Like even dating back to last season,
they don't. This is not a
like I would be surprised if Colorado makes a bowl game.
Right, but I don't think Colorado State's a great team.
No, they're not
either.
But they weren't last year either.
They weren't either.
And it was a dogfight.
Was it?
Pretty sure it came down to like wasn't it like an overtime game?
It was overtime, but
like last drive type game.
They won by a touchdown. I'm thinking if they covered the spread is what I mean. Like
yeah, I don't remember last year's exactly, but I remember it being a pretty entertaining game.
It was 35-43. So if we're looking at it, they covered the touchdown.
What's the over under?
It was a sweater.
What's the points in this game?
58.5.
Sheesh.
58.5 is pretty high, but I wouldn't be out on that, especially if you're going to tease a couple of things like we said. If you wanted to take more points with Oregon State, or if you wanted to go Memphis with 11 or something like that, and you wanted to gain extra points, you could pull this over down and get it around 51 or 52. And I think that would be golden.
Yeah, honestly. That's true. The Colorado State guys, they said they got offered $600K to leave and they stayed. Bad choice. I'd have got the fuck out of there. I ain't gonna lie, $600K.
Yeah,
to leave Colorado State. Send me to fucking Temple, bro, or wherever. Send me to fucking Northern Colorado Bears.
He has one touchdown and one interception.
Send me the Northern Colorado Bears, brother. I'm out.
Braden Fowler Nikolowski.
Send me to the fucking Northern Colorado Bears, baby.
Send me to the Bears. Send me to Northern Colorado.
I'm gone.
Fuck you.
All right. So that's pretty much all the picks we have for college. Like Jersey said, not a great slate this week. So like, I'm a college guy, so I'm gonna bet on college games. But I wouldn't bet on them many of those games if you don't like those.
Yeah, if you want to have a little fun and entertain yourself, maybe do something light. Yeah. Don't blow your whole bankroll. Yeah. Save it for NFL. Save it for something that you we know
more confident in.
That we're a little bit more confident in matchups.
Jumping in, we're not done yet. We got NFL, and then we're going to close out. Woo. So going into the big dog leagues, the NFL, baby, week 2 bets and predictions. So as you guys can see on the screen, Thursday night game, we got my Fins versus Buffalo.
Your Fins. Oh,
my Fins.
That's
you know I'm a Fin. I know. Like, come on. Yeah. I'm not a Fin like I am a Knoll. But
no, you're a Knoll for sure.
I'm a Fin.
You're a big Knoll.
I'm a Fin guy.
You're a big Knoll. The Fins didn't look great.
Wins a win.
Jaguars
baby.
Is under.
It was a rough day, man. Tyreek was going through a lot of shit. We had a lot of distractions.
I mean, he still went for 130 and a touchdown. So
we had a lot. Yeah, one of them was an 80-yard catch though. But we had a lot of distractions. So, but historically, we're not good against Buffalo.
Right.
Historically.
Right.
Is there a spread on that game? What is it?
2.5. Miami is -2.5 at home, which is probably a pick 'em. Like I said, you normally get.
I like it.
You normally get 3 for being at home.
I like it.
I do like Miami. I think they came out a little bit flat, but the reason they came out flat
A-Chain's out, I think.
A-Chain's out, but Jalen Wright behind him is also a player.
I mean, Mostert
they
will
still have
some
Mostert,
touches.
but I'm saying as far as the Lightning, Mostert's a Lightning guy too. But if Jalen Wright can help carry that load too.
Yeah, it's not like you're losing Tyreek.
He's a speedster. You're not losing one of your main type of guys. They have running back score. I think they have Jeff Wilson Jr. still too.
We do.
Yeah, so
we do.
That's a deep running back room. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I remember scouting that running back room, hoping that somebody was going to get cut that we can add.
Yeah.
They kept 4 backs, but
you guys have Dalvin, don't you?
Yeah, we grabbed Dalvin.
He got no touches.
He didn't. I don't know if he dressed. I didn't see him out there. I did
Crazy,
not see him
man.
dressed.
The downfall of my God.
They had 3 backs checked in for the actual game. Deuce Vaughn got a carrier too.
Deuce Vaughn getting a carry over Dalvin kind of rattles me a little bit.
Hey man, Dalvin just got there last week.
Okay, we'll give him time.
Could we give him a little time to work?
Fair enough.
He's going to be there. Mike McCarthy said he's going to
play.
He's
that's my guy.
So
that's my guy. So
we'll work into the boys.
Listen, Thursday night game. Is there any
games are always
is there any
sloppy.
player props on Thursday night game yet that we can look at or no?
There is some player props I can pull them.
So I think we both agree though. If you go away from the player prop route,
I like the Fins.
I like Fins -2.5.
I do like the Fins. The Jaguars are a real slippery.
Not
defense.
bad team, but come on.
They're a sticky.
Etienne's good, bro. T-Law is a good QB. He's not bad. I don't care
Right.
what people say. I love their rookie receiver. I love Brian Thomas.
Yeah, Brian Thomas.
I love Brian Thomas. Ingram's a solid tight end. They got Kurt. They got weapons.
Right.
Like they can score the ball. I think Dolphins had a lot going on that day. There was a lot of emotions. Like they came out flat. I heard Tua gave a speech at halftime.
Well, like I said, it's not necessarily coming out flat. The Jaguars have a very underrated good defense. There's players over there. Devin Lloyd is a great middle linebacker. Travon Walker.
Hey, they got my guy fucking Jerry and Jones in the draft.
There's guys over there. Like they're not a bum defense.
I think what I like to see the most was the Fins fought back and they got the win.
Right, they did. I think they did benefit from a terrible call on that 4th and 1 going for it on the Jaguars went for it on that 130 and then they threw
a stretch play or whatever it was.
It was like a stretch or a toss.
And it got blown up
outside.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey made a crazy side.
Ran all the way back.
Play,
Yeah, but that's you know what I mean.
That's FSU.
That's like when Jameis like
hey, highest paid corner, you got to make those
dogs.
plays. You got to make those plays. There were a couple plays that he gave up, but overall, I think Jalen Ramsey had a good game.
Yep. So player prop wise,
he didn't have a good game. I was like, you got to understand, corners are going to give up catches. It doesn't matter.
I mean, especially when you're an aggressive corner.
It doesn't matter. It's about giving up the plays that matter the most. When people are going to score touchdowns or people are going to do things, you got to eliminate those type of plays.
Yep, agreed.
I definitely like Miami. If we're looking at player props, passing yards over under, there's Josh Allen at 244.5 and Tua at 266.5. I think both of those are high.
Yeah, they are.
If we looked around the league this week, there wasn't many people that passed for over 250.
I think I had A-Rod over like 225. He passed like 170.
Yeah, it was like there really
Caleb Williams didn't
much.
crack 100.
One of my favorite picks this week was Sam Darnold throwing for a lot of yards because I figured. I mean, I know that Sam Darnold's not like this amazing player, but
that fucking Jetta.
That Giants defense is really bad. I mean, he touched 200, and I felt like he was slinging it around at one point. He was like 10 for 10. But yeah, a lot of guys didn't throw for that high of yardage. I think both of those are pretty high. I wouldn't mind looking maybe the under on Tua, honestly. 266.5 is a lot. You got to be really darting that shit around all night. Passing touchdowns are usually 1.5 as they usually
typically
are. Receiving yards.
I'm curious, Tariq, what is Jalen Wright's rushing line in this game?
Let's see if he's even listed on here. He's not listed yet. They don't have him listed yet. They'll probably more towards game time. They'll probably list that.
Yep.
They're probably still a lot of times they're still looking through injuries and who's actually going to play. For the guys that we do know are absolutely playing, Tariq is 96.5.
Sheesh.
Rasul Douglas has been a pretty good cornerback for the Bills. 96.5 is pretty high, but I mean he touches that almost every single week.
I mean, and he's a guy who can take it.
I'm seeing if I see anything that really sticks out to me here. I do like Khalil Shakir. He's one of Josh Allen's safety blankets that he's been going to.
Had a good game.
He's a route running guy. I think he had about 3 catches for 45 last game. He's at 39.5. He's at 39.5. 40 for him seems pretty solid. That's a player prop that I would probably look at. Matt Collins as well. Matt Collins is probably going to be a guy that they look for deep. I like Keon Coleman obviously too, but Matt Collins is a big tall.
Keon will probably have Jalen lined up on him.
Matt Collins came from the Raiders. He's
Yep.
a pretty tall target. He's at 18.5. I think that's pretty low. He got like
That is pretty
3
low.
or 4 targets last
Yeah,
game.
Tutty last week.
I think he had about. I think he was 2 for 25. I think he's going to be working his way.
You think Kincaid has a game this week?
I think who?
Kincaid had one catch for 14 last week.
Yeah, he struggled. He
was like the leading receiver for them last year.
The thing about the Bills is the Bills are turning into a run first team. They love James Cook. They're running James Cook all over the place.
Allen's running a lot.
Their offensive line is very good. Allen is trying to minimize his dumb mistakes and just kind of like take the ball and just go up. I mean, he does that anyway. I'm not in love with that type of style as far as a quarterback. I don't think it's an overall winning style.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's kind of comparable to like a Cam Newton
Yep.
as far as play style. He's got to take care of the ball and they'll be fine. But I think this Miami defense is still very stingy. I like Miami here. Let me go rushing yards. James Cook is at 60.5. I mean, I think that's pretty low.
I don't hate that.
I think that's pretty low.
He's going to get the rock.
For a guy that's going to see probably 20 touches. What did they have last game? He had probably, I would think at least 20 touches. And even as far as receiving, he's vital in the receiving game as well. He had 71 last game on 19 touches.
He's gonna tote the rock. Like
they're gonna give him the rock at least.
Yeah, he's gonna touch it
times for
he's
sure.
Gonna touch it
for sure. I think 16.5 is a good play. So from they don't have too many player props listed for the Dolphins right now. But as far as looking at Bills, I like Khalil Shakur over the 39.5. The Matt Collins is 18.5.
Yep.
That's not bad. And then James Cook as well.
Cool.
Those guys are still low, so not bad.
Cool. All right, so moving on, we'll jump to the Sunday games. Again, no player prop lines out for Sunday games. So we'll just give you guys who we think overall will win or if they'll cover. So 1:00 game Sunday, we got Niners versus Vikings.
Niners and Vikings.
Niners look good.
Niners look great. Niners look like they picked up where they left off. Probably the most impressive team I've seen this week.
Obviously, Vikings got Jettas.
The Jets are an impressive defense. Obviously, they lost Jonathan Franklin-Myers, so I think their run D was going to be a little bit less than what it has been. And I've noticed that they don't play Quinnen Williams on like first down, and he's kind of like a rotational player. Doesn't make sense to have $100 million D tackle, and they're not having him in there playing the run.
No.
The Jets got to figure that out for sure. But
Aaron looked a little rusty.
He did. That's to be thought. He hasn't played ball.
I do think him and Garrett will be pretty good throughout the year.
They'll be fine offensively. I think. You're playing one of the best defenses in the league. I've seen that defense make great quarterbacks look
look shitty,
very very bad.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, the only reason that Dak Prescott gets a bad rep in the NFL is because of how good the 49ers defense is. Because outside of that, like the guy's 12-5 for 3 years straight, and everybody says he sucks. But then we play the 49ers, and they just blow the fucking doors off them.
They're a hard team to beat.
It's a really, really fast side-to-side defense, physical defense.
I mean, they're well oiled at every level.
Rushers, every level has players. That defense is just too good.
Yep.
Sam Darnold's in for a long, long day. I did like him versus the Giants because I think the Giants have one of the worst secondaries
I don't like
in
him
the
here.
league. But yeah, they'll probably smash them here. Let's see what the line is.
It's probably like 14.
It's 6.
Wait, Niners minus 6?
It's fucking 6.
Niners did lose to the Vikings last year, didn't they?
Yeah, I know this game is on the road.
Niners did lose. I'm pretty sure I had money on
I
Brock.
know this game is on the road, but like, I don't see in any world where the Vikings can hang with this team. 6 just seems really sweet. I don't care what they think about Christian McCaffrey. The fall off with Jordan. What is it? Jordan Mason, the kid's name is. He doesn't look like
good.
Too much of a fall off at all.
He runs hard.
He's a physical back.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a flyer guy. But I've said this before, that when the Niners do decide to sign Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey is the odd man out. And because the offense is so interchangeable with who they could put at running back, they've always had a stacked team as far as running backs, and they can just flow. They're stable in there.
Minus 6 is crazy.
6 is lovely. 6 is a floor.
I would slam.
I would fucking nail it now before it changes. Like
now, absolutely.
Maybe
minus 6.
Bet your
Niners.
Nana on it. Put your grandmother on it.
Put the 401k on it.
Bet anything you want.
401k Niners minus 6. Love it.
Run it up there.
Love it. Moving on.
Sprint it.
Seahawks, Patriots.
The Seahawks were
fucked me.
Seahawks looked odd versus Denver, but Denver's also an underrated defense. So I think it took them a little bit of time to get rolling. in that game. That was a weird game. There was 2 safeties, multiple field goals to start the game. That Seahawks and Denver
it was
game.
5-3.
The Patriots looked well on defense.
Fucking go and beat
Gerard
Cincy.
Mayo, he's going to bring that defensive mentality. He's going to carry that over
Yeah.
from what Bill Belichick had. They kept a lot of the guys that were already in place there, so I would imagine that. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is a monster.
A dog.
Monster. He's locking everybody down.
No, he's a dog.
This could be a tough game. Seattle's -3.5 on the road. I think the Patriots might be getting a little bit too much love here because of the win last week versus the Bengals.
Also, I mean, a shorthanded Bengals team.
I wouldn't be mad if you moneylined Seattle. You could probably get them at, let's see what their money line would be.
Probably like +120.
Well, they're favorites, so
they're
they're
favored.
-175. I wouldn't be mad at
Ooh.
taking that thing at the 3.5. It could get chippy. It could be a field goal game. This could be like a little bit of a defensive game. We know Seattle has a great defense. Woolen is amazing. They got guys all over that defense.
They do.
Like they're physical too. There's fucking hitters out there.
I like Seattle here though.
I do like Seattle. I like Seattle money line.
I think Gino can air it out.
I think to be safe, since the spread is so low, you can take -175 and not have to kick out too much juice. So I like Seattle. They started a little bit slow last week. Patriots are getting a little bit too much love off that Bengals win. I like Seattle.
And I like Kenneth Walker. I do. From
Yeah,
Seattle.
Kenneth Walker's a
I know he
baller.
got hurt last week.
He's a
I don't know if he's
player.
gonna be in or
He's a
not.
player. That's another team that just recycles backs. They just have them in the stable. They improved their line too, their offensive line. I'm still waiting to see Jackson Smith and Jigba turn into the guy that I think he is.
I picked him up in fantasy.
Seen
So
some
I hear
flashes
you.
from him. I'm waiting.
I hear you.
DK let me down last week too. I did have DK over 50.5 on one of my player prop parlays, and I think he finished with like 25.
Yep.
But
Tough
I mean,
one.
Patrick Surtain Jr. is out there on him too, so you got to think about PS2 is out there. But I figured 50 for him would have been fairly easy. But yeah, I like Seattle.
Cool.
I like Seattle.
Agreed. Moving on. Battle of the shitters.
Dog shit. The NFC's dog
Giants
shit.
versus Commanders.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think the Giants might be the worst team in the league.
Well, I think Daniel Jones absolutely stinks. I might actually put
I see
DJ.
somebody say Daniel Jones is regressed. And so I was like, how do you regress from being dog shit?
I actually think
he's really bad.
I might play DJU over Daniel Jones.
You would rather DJU? That's big.
I mean,
I would take Shador Sanders today over Daniel Jones.
Fuck yeah.
That's for sure.
But Daniel Jones is like, bro.
Well, you got to understand.
Daniel Jones is getting yelled at walking out of the stadium.
Years. He's got to know at least.
He's getting yelled at walking out of the stadium. Did you see that clip?
No, I know.
He's walking out of the shit to the parking lot.
Vanilla Vic,
and the Giants are letting it rip.
Vanilla
on him,
Vic.
No, it's bad. That interception he threw to Van Ginkel, terrible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, absolutely
great
terrible.
name too, by the way.
Van Ginkel. Yeah, Dolphins should have kept him, but
He actually bought. I went to the Cowboys and Dolphins game last year, and he was all over the field.
No, he's
that was the guy that
I was at that game too. We saw you.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve game.
He was a fuck.
He's good, man. He's good. So this is Battle of the Shitters.
I like the Commanders here.
I like the Commanders.
Jaden Daniels, he didn't do much passing the ball, but he did show that he can take off and
he
run.
can make moves.
He took off for 16 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's very shifty. His
I like
arm looks good. Brian Robinson Jr. also still runs very physical.
They got Eckler.
I think this Giants defense is just dog shit, and
they can't get the ball to the playmakers either.
It could end up being. I mean, what's the over under? 43.5. The over doesn't look bad either. If you want to tease that and drop that down too. I love teasing things, or I love grabbing a couple of things. If you get that around 41, where it's under that 42 mark or something like that, I think that's golden too. And I like Washington.
Yep.
I think Washington is consensus.
Agreed.
The Giants could be one of the
worst
teams.
I would probably bet against Giants all year until they show me.
They could be one of the
different.
worst teams. In the league.
No, we're not gonna spend too much time on that one. Moving forward, we got Chargers and Panthers.
The absolute.
I mean,
worst
Panthers
team
are
in
absolutely
the
shit.
league
I mean,
is the Panthers.
we just talked about it earlier before we came on. I mean, Bryce Young, the guy. I mean, I don't know. What are you doing?
It's very early to give out this yet, but I think Bryce Young can go down as one of the biggest busts in NFL.
I mean,
history.
he's just.
And
that.
it's only because he's a first round number 1 pick that I would say that, because I never really believed in him from the beginning as far as quarterback. He just looks too tiny out there. He doesn't look like he sees the field.
I mean,
the ball looks like it's bigger than his.
He also had
head.
absolute studs at Alabama.
No, of course.
team.
That's the thing about being at Alabama. I mean, there has to be something that the Panthers seen to grab him over CJ Stroud.
Unreal.
Which is honestly ridiculous to me. But he just looks like a little baby. Like he's afraid in the pocket. He's always shifty. The ball looks like it's 10 times bigger than his hand. I have no idea how big his hands are. Maybe I'm wrong, but fucking, he doesn't look good. The Chargers played an all right game last week. The Raiders are sticky on defense as well.
J.K. Dobbins looked good.
Dobbins had 10 carries for 135. He broke one, which is kind of, I seen him break one versus the Ravens, or he was on the Ravens and he broke one. And he had the limp and he was holding the leg and stuff like that. So it's good to see him break free. I know he didn't
He's been through a lot of shit
on that play, but it was good to like actually see him. Like,
I love Joe Alt though. I think Joe Alt
is a monster,
and I like Herbert. I do. Like I think Herbert's good.
I'm not a huge Herbert fan.
I think he's good.
But I'm extra critical on quarterbacks because of how much hate that Dak Prescott gets. So I'm a little bit extra critical on these guys. Herbert's still got to show us some stuff.
Well, I mean,
I don't think this is a great receiving core that they have over there.
I
do like Ladd. I do like Ladd. He did have a nice catch.
He got him one last week.
He scored a touchdown. He had
Quentin Johnson's dog shit.
He had 5.
No hands, brick hands. Quentin Johnson's brick hands.
He hasn't been good, but I think he had a big catch. I seen him take off for 1 or 2 catches last week.
Just don't trust him.
I don't super trust them.
Donald Parham though.
I do like the Chargers.
The Madden stud, Donald Parham.
The spread is 6.5. That's a little bit big, especially for a road game.
Panthers,
but the Panthers are complete.
Panthers gave up 47.
The Panthers are absolute complete.
I'm
dog
taking
shit.
6.5.
Like I said, the absolute worst team in the league.
They gave up 47.
I'm not mad at all. Or if you wanted to do a 2-team teaser, you grab the Giants and Commanders over at 37.5, and then you pull the Chargers down to even money, and you fucking boom. There's your 2 teams.
Love it.
You're living right there. Just for the last 2 guys that were putting together, and then you're safe because the Chargers aren't going to lose this game. I don't think it will be close either. But if you want to be safe with 6.5, let's talk about safe picks.
Moving on, your boys, the Saints versus the boys. Boys look like.
I mean, it's 6.5 at home.
Boys look like top 2 teams
Am I crazy?
in the league. Them and Chiefs.
I think this is Chiefs, Niners, and boys. I think won the weekend.
Yep, Niners for sure.
I think.
I mean, New Orleans had a good week 1, but they played dog shit Carolina.
New Orleans has talent. Obviously, Kamara's there. Shaheed or whatever his.
Shaheed, that's right.
Taysom.
Taysom Hill.
Olave's there. There's guys that can make plays. Do we typically believe in Derek Carr?
No.
Yeah, no, not really at all.
I think Spencer Rattler takes that job eventually.
Derek Carr versus a Panthers pass rush that had Derek Brown, who got injured, and I think Derek Brown's out for an extended amount of time right now. There's not much pass rush over there for the Panthers.
No.
So Derek Carr can do that type of stuff when he's not pass rush.
Yeah, you got Micah Parsons.
When you're playing Micah Parsons, DeMarcus
and
Lawrence,
Micah Parsons looked like
this
animal.
rookie, Marshawn Nealon, who had a fucking great game. I think he had 6 pressures, most by a rookie. The linebacking core looked way improved for the Cowboys with Kendricks or Overshaw coming back. Like the Cowboys defense looks legit. Diggs had a great pick there at the end.
You guys
great
dominated.
Play on the dive. I like Dak and what we do at home.
Agreed.
The Cowboys at home last year were an incredible team, just literally like blowing teams out at home. Wasn't even close. I think 6.5 is sweet. I'm a Cowboys fan, obviously, so take that with a grain of salt, but I think 6.5 is sweet. The Saints might be getting a little bit too much love off of beating,
after scoring 47,
the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I like Cowboys at home too. I think
it can get messy too. I mean, the thing about the Cowboys too is even if it comes down to a 4th quarter game and you're looking, and they only have a little lead, 4 or 5 points. The turnovers that Dallas forces and creates all the time with all the playmakers that they have can turn the game at any point.
Yep.
So a late turnover in a game is 4 to 5 or 6 points, and you got Brandon Butter Aubrey out there. Aubrey's
that motherfucker
might turn into the best kicker in the league. He lined up from 71 this week.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous. He lined up even to think they were going to attempt.
No, that's just.
I wanted him to kick it, but honestly,
insane.
Being up 20-3 at that time and kicking that, and then having a return go the other way, and you got all offensive linemen, it doesn't check out. But if he had to, he would have kicked it. We seen him kick the 66 or 65, I think it was, or 66 in preseason, and he nailed it. He didn't need the crossbar like Justin Tucker did. They said it would have been good from 72, so I think he would have nailed that too.
Yeah.
I got mad confidence in that guy. He's great. So, like I said, the Cowboys could even force a late turnover. I think you're safe with 6.5. You don't even have to do too much buying or changing that.
Love that.
They should blow them out.
Yep. Okay, next game. Mar, what we got on the slate? I think it's Bucks
Lions,
I believe.
Detroit's -7. I think that's a little bit too much love as well. I know it's in Detroit and it's tough to play in Detroit.
They look. I mean, they got weapons.
But Baker Mayfield is turning into the guy that people thought Baker Mayfield was going to be from the beginning.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good roster over there.
They
lean heavy
Godwin,
on the
Evans.
lean heavy on the run.
Rashid
Mike
White.
Evans is a guy. Godwin's a guy. They got players like the defense isn't incredible. They're probably a middle of the pack defense. So the Lions can have success. The over under here is 51.5. Obviously they like a lot of scoring here. I like the 7. I think Tampa should keep this game pretty close. I thought the Lions had some good pass rush. I think they look improved pass rush wise. Their corners, all right. They played a decent. I like Kirby Joseph. I like Terrion Arnold. There's guys in the back there, so I would probably lean more towards the Bucks.
Yep.
But
Bucks with the points.
I like it. But it's a game that I think is going to be really competitive.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. They usually take the points in a competitive game, but the Lions at home too could. I definitely like the Lions to win, but I think this could be a close one.
Agreed. So it looks like on here we got Colts Packers. So tough one. I mean, look,
Malik Willis starting.
Jordan Love coming off an injury.
I'm not sure why the spread is 3. Indy is -3 in Green Bay.
I mean, Richardson looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not
not great, but he looked okay.
I think their defense looked good.
They battled,
regardless of how good Richardson was. All right, I think Richardson had that nice ball, and people get caught up in the highlights. A lot of people get caught up in watching highlights with quarterbacks, and they're not watching what the quarterback is doing pre-snap, commanding plays, the mechanics of it, where these balls are going. He was like a 40% completion, so it wasn't like he went insane and had this great game. He had that obvious insane throw. There's still things to work on with him.
Yep.
But I think that defense
was
actually good. I seen CJ Stroud look confused a lot of times, and he's the guy that I know his IQ is very high. He looked confused in that game at times. He got smacked around a couple of times. I've seen his helmet moving around. I like the Colts here. I mean, too. Malik Willis doesn't excite me at all.
No.
He played at a little school at Liberty. Came from.
He showed nothing with the Titans.
We seen him for 2 snaps the other game. It looked like it was hilarious. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, suddenly I became important at my job. Like,
I think
that's a lock. Honestly, Indy should be a smack.
Yeah, agreed. All right, moving forward, Browns at Jacksonville. Obviously, Browns had a tough game against you guys. Had no answer for you guys.
I think they're in for another one.
You think so?
In for another tough game. The spread is 3. Like I said, that Jacksonville defense is a lot stickier than people give them credit for. I've seen them confuse.
I don't love Deshaun Watson either.
I'm not a Deshaun Watson guy.
I'm not.
You can go back on my Twitter and go back through my old tweets. I've been saying that Deshaun Watson isn't the guy since 2020, 2021. I don't think he's even improved. I think he's regressing.
Yep. Jags have some nice weapons.
I don't want to give him too much slack. His dad died like this week, so obviously that's like a big thing. But
and
at
I mean,
the same time,
like the boys were in his face the whole game.
Right. I want to give him slack for that, but I also don't want to give him slack because like obviously people think he's a shit person. So like at the same time, it's like I want to give him slack, but I don't want to give him slack. I really don't care about Deshaun Watson. I think the Browns are in for it until they get Nick Chubb back. And even when they get Nick Chubb back,
which can be 5-6 weeks.
Right. Even when they get Nick Chubb back, it's not guaranteed that he's going to be the same player that he was. That was a critical injury.
Njoku's hurt.
Njoku was banged up. He was banged up. He left the game. He hobbled away.
Yep.
We beat him up pretty bad. We took it to him early. It was 27-3.
It was not competitive.
It was bad. Yeah. That line didn't look good. They can't run the ball. Jerome Ford is not a starting back for that team.
No.
I don't know if they'll pull the plug on Watson and go Jabo.
Hey, you know what I'm thinking?
At some point.
Let it rip,
I mean, maybe not right now, maybe not this game, but I think eventually
set him free, man.
We may see Jabo.
Set him free.
We may see
so
Jabo.
Easy one here. I agree. I like Jacksonville. Hey man, set my guy free, man. He'll air it out.
But yeah, I think the Jaguars are going to crush them. -3 is
I like Jags also.
Great. They should beat the fuck out of them.
So moving on, we got Jets Titans. Listen, I don't need to go too deep into this one. I think the Jets will win this game. I think the spread is like 4.
Jets are -3.5.
I personally like Jets -3.5. I think they have the way better team. I'm not a big Levis guy.
That Vrabel defense isn't bad.
Dude, they were up 17-0 against the Bears.
Yeah, I know.
And absolutely just threw it.
Well, they special teams and a pick six.
Well, I mean, what are you thinking though?
So you're giving up. But as far as defensive wise, I mean, Caleb Williams is a rookie. We know that. But like at one point he had 60 yards at like halftime.
Yeah.
Like,
this is not Caleb Williams.
He looks completely he looked completely frazzled. He
did.
He did out of there. This is not a bad Titans defense.
No, it's not.
Don't mistake the Titans for having a bad defense. I think Tony Pollard looked good. He's coming off his second year removed from that major injury, so I think this is the year that he can actually like get his speed back and start going. He had 82 yards and a touchdown. That's not bad. Do they have the guys as far as receivers to make plays?
Malik,
not
like
really.
The Dolphins,
I mean, I want to lean towards the Jets, but like I also don't know who the Jets really are offensively. I think they still have to get it together. The defense didn't look good as far as running the ball. If Pollard and Spears
Brees had 90.
No, the defense as far as
stopping the run.
Stopping the run. Yeah, stopping the run. We know the Niners have an amazing offensive line, one of the best lines. Yeah. Did somebody just say Josh Allen MVP year? You're out of your mind.
Hey, man. On the Allen train, man.
I will do 1,000 push-ups on live stream if Josh Allen is the MVP of the league.
Thoughts on Larry Bird's new BBL? There's no thoughts there, brother. Appreciate that.
BBL Larry.
No, BBL
Larry.
We're not, BBL Larry can stay wherever he's at.
We don't know. Why the fuck does Larry Bird have a BBL?
That's just cap. And I don't even want to look into it because
that's a mega troll.
No, super troll.
Yeah, but the Jets, I mean, they should win this game. Like I said, the Titans are a tough defense. The over-under is 40.5. That lets you know that they like these defenses. Probably a game I'm going to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really love it. Like I said, it could get tricky. Mm-hmm. Also on the road, it could get tricky. I do like the Jets ultimately to win, but I wouldn't sleep on the Titans.
Sure.
So sure. I wouldn't touch this game.
Sure. Okay. Moving on. We already went to Bucks Lions. We're going to go to Ravens.
Ravens.
I'll be honest. Give me the Ravens all day, baby.
It's 9.5.
Ravens rolling. I thought Lamar looked straight against the Chiefs. I thought they battled. I like D. Henry. I like the rookie Nate Wiggins. I picked the Ravens to win that game against the Chiefs, and they lost.
I absolutely didn't. I'm not a huge believer in the Ravens. I think
they look good though.
I don't want to say because he's the MVP of the league.
They didn't look bad, bro.
He's the MVP, but I don't think Lamar is.
He's a playmaker, though.
He's a playmaker, absolutely. He's going all over the place. He's doing his thing. He's running.
9.5 is a lot.
He can throw the ball. Yeah, it's exciting and stuff.
9.5 is a lot, though.
I watched him skip a lot of balls in.
Likely looks like a dog.
I think Lamar Jackson at halftime, his average net pass yard, distance on a yard was 1 yard. Like he's not throwing the ball down the field.
That might be lower than DJU.
Yeah, that's not good. Like that, and this is the MVP of the league. And like I know people have given.
With all that being said, though,
throw the ball for a long time.
With all that being said, though, the game should win overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
he missed
the throw first with Zay Flowers. He missed the one before with Likely in the corner. And then they missed the Zay Flowers one, and then they throw the other one to Likely, and he doesn't get the foot down. Yeah, it should have been overtime. I think Baltimore has a good defense. I think the Raiders have an underrated, decent defense. Max Crosby is a fucking animal.
He is.
9.5 is
a lot
to lay. They are at home.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins went for 130 on the Raiders.
If you want to throw this on that teaser that we were talking about earlier with the Commanders and the Commanders over and the Chargers, I mean, getting this at 2.5 would probably be a steal for.
I like Baltimore personally.
I do think it would be maybe a struggle early in the game and then figure it out.
J.K. went for 130
Max
on
Crosby
him.
is a game record.
He is, but J.K. went for 130. Give me D. Henry. Give me Lamar to run over him.
No, you're right. Absolutely. They definitely ran the.
They just got too much.
Ran the rock on him. They definitely ran.
They got too much. I mean,
9.5 is a lot.
Was it Minshew starting?
Who was that?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner.
Oh, slick back sunshine. I'm just. Give me the Ravens at home, man. I think they're just the more well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I mean
9.5 is a lot though. So
9.5 is a lot. So like I said, if you can get it under a touchdown, or if you can get it down, yeah. Anytime you're looking at 9.5, you know obviously the Ravens are the better team and they're probably going to win. But like I said, the Raiders do have
they could keep it within 10.
A sticky
they can keep it within 10.
Can hang around,
and they got Devontae, right? So like
they can hang around early, and Zamir White's not bad. I mean, he had only maybe 45 for the game, but
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
you're right. Harbaugh was signaling for 2 points.
All right, so there you go. All right, so next game we got Rams Cardinals. Good game. Both teams look solid.
Kyler
looked good.
Kyler looked improved. I think taking the year with his ACL improved
he looked good
for him. I
he
think
looked
he's
good.
going to see the game a little bit better. I think he's going to have a real improved year this year.
He looked good.
That's a tough game. That's a division game. Arizona's 1.5 at home. This is a game I usually stay away from games like this, especially games inside of this division. It
could be a tough one to call.
Like it's just that division is tough. Like, any NFC West is just
Malik. I mean, Malik, my head tells me Rams, but I mean, Cardinals didn't look bad. Like they put up points against the Bills. Like Kyler looked good in that first half. Like they look like they have. I mean, we didn't really see much of Marvin Harrison, but he obviously can be good. Like I like James Conner. They got Trey Benson as a backup running back. Like
you would think the Rams would be the consensus play. But having that at 1.5 here is just a toss up. It's not a game that I love. The over under is 49. I mean, that's a little bit high too. I think that's high. I'm not teams that I'm thinking have amazing defenses, but they're teams that run the ball, that like to drive the ball, that don't really make outside of Kyler really using his legs. They don't really make explosive plays. Not a game I love.
Yeah. So we'll move on from that one. Mar, pull up the graphic for me again real quick. We'll go to the next game here. That is a tough one because both teams, like, I don't know, like I can see both teams doing a lot.
They play each other tough all the time. Every time that they play each other. It's a tough game to predict.
Moving on. Bengals, Chiefs.
Spread's 5.5. Chiefs
Bengals,
at home.
Chiefs.
This is a blowout.
Are they gonna have Jamar and T Higgins?
This is a blowout. I've seen Joe Burrow on the sideline and he hurt his hand. He can't even fucking pick up his helmet. Like he's like, Joe Burrow also very overrated. Another guy that I'll jump out there and tell you that he's overrated.
Wow. All right, so you're calling blowout.
He's very overrated. I haven't seen much from Joe. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl year. Cool, they went to the Super Bowl. Jamar Chase had an insane year that year. Jamar Chase had just like he was taking 5-yard slants to the crib at will. Like I'm not a huge Joe Burrow believer. I mean,
also T Higgins out, right?
I know everybody has Joe as top 5. He's not in my top 5.
T Higgins out. Jamar
out.
Jamar's not as locked in after he gets the he's waiting on the contract. So a lot going on there. I like Chiefs too. I think simple here. Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs blow them out. 5.5 is
Chiefs
absolutely
at home.
Lovely.
Chiefs.
Maybe they're thinking of this as just the old matchup from the AFC Championship games.
Yeah, it's just not.
These are not the same teams. The Chiefs vastly improved from last year.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are a better team than they were last year.
I mean, they look good.
That's the scary thing.
Xavier Worthy
they're a better team.
looked like a god.
I said on paper that they looked better.
Rashid Rice, Xavier Worthy, those starting to look legit.
They're a better team. And Rashid Rice is becoming one of the top receivers in the league.
He's good.
One of the top guys. And I don't know if it's because of how good
Worthy looks like a steal.
I had Worthy for the first touchdown in that game, the start last week, and I was hoping that he grabbed the first touchdown for the Chiefs. He didn't grab the first touchdown in the game. Yeah. He was plus 400. I was so excited about that pick.
Even crazier? Someone last night told me to take Allen Lazard for 2 touchdowns.
How the fuck do you see that?
And you know what it was? Who? Plus 9,000.
No way.
And it hit.
He did grab that one at the end.
And it
25 seconds. That would have been an insane grab to grab.
I told him you're a fool. I wouldn't even take Lazard for 1.
Did he bet it?
No. But he told me to take it. You know how it goes.
I mean, shit. If you would have told me that, I would have had at least 5 bones for it.
Plus 9,000, bro.
I mean, $10 would have won you 900.
Fuck, that hurts the soul, man.
I would have had
God damn, that hurts the soul.
Absolutely.
All right, so we like Chiefs to blow out. Mar,
blowout.
Let's run back to the next one. We'll get to these last 3 real quick. I know we're way over time, so let's just knock them out. We got Steelers, Broncos.
I'm not in love with that game. The spread is Steelers are minus 2.5. The defense looked great. Denver's defense looked great.
Both offenses pretty mid.
Bo Nix looked like poo. Justin Fields looked like whatever. 2 teams that suck. Don't bet
I'd probably go Steelers, but I wouldn't bet it. Yeah.
2 teams that suck. I wouldn't bet it.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Don't bet it. Bro.
Wouldn't love any player.
If I'm picking a team to win, give me the Steelers, but I think they both suck.
Wouldn't love any overs on player props, at least in any of that game. I think that would be a defensive showdown. The over under is 36.5. It's super low.
That's terrible.
Probably wouldn't even take that though because it's just so.
It's
low.
just a stinker, bro.
I wouldn't touch that game.
So moving forward, we won't spend too much on that. Bears, Texans.
The Bears defense looked pretty good.
Very good.
I think they.
But they
I
also
think they played well.
You're playing Will Levis this week. You got CJ.
Yeah,
it's a different offense over there.
The Texans.
Nico looked fire.
May have the spread is low on this one. I think the spread was only like 4. I'm not seeing it right here.
I mean that Texans offense though.
The Texans offense is
Nico,
dynamic, and
Stephon Diggs had 2 tutties.
The mix with Diggs is already working.
He only had like 40 yards receiving,
but he was there when they needed him.
Yeah, he was,
and he's happy with that. That's how you keep him happy.
Yep. No, you're
because you got to keep.
They got your old guy Schultz.
I know this game was a. I'm not a huge Schultz guy,
well,
but him and CJ have a good connection. Nico Collins had 6 catches for 117.
Yeah. What's the line on this game?
No, Stephon Diggs had 6 catches. The spread for this week.
If it's 4, I'm smacking the Texans.
7 actually.
I'm just not a believer in the Bears.
I think it started that high, but
they're saying Ruma Dunze is getting his knee looked at.
Yeah, they got banged up in that game. I do like the Texans.
Yeah. Texans were in a dogfight against the Colts.
The Texans should grab that one
at home.
The Bears, the jury's still out on what we're seeing from Caleb. Like I said, they played the Titans. The Titans have a good Mike Vrabel run defense. There's guys over there that make plays.
Texas got solid.
I don't want to knock Caleb just yet and say like, should I kept Justin Fields? I don't want to knock him yet. So we'll see what it's about. The Texans also have a good defense, so it's not going to be much easier. I do like the Texans here. Even the 7, I'm not really too mad at.
I'm not. I like that. That might be that probably might be one of my favorite picks outside of the fucking -6 Niners.
I would say -6 Niners
and -6 boys.
-6 boys and the Jaguars. I think I love that Jaguars pick 2 -3. Those would probably be my 3 haymakers there.
I think Texans for sure. So moving on, last game, Monday night game, Falcons Eagles.
Right.
Falcons offense looked pretty not good.
Yeah, that O-line isn't
obviously
great.
Steelers are good, but fuck,
that O-line isn't great. I do think the Eagles.
Well, they scored 10 points at home.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't think.
I don't know if you saw the clip. Did you see the clip of Kirk Cousins dropping back?
Nah.
Looks like
when he got slammed.
No. He drops back and goes for a pass, and like he has no push off his hurt Achilles.
I didn't look at that.
No push. It looked like his shit just.
I know. Anytime you have an Achilles, it's not a.
It's not a young guy coming off an Achilles injury.
No, it's not. It's not. Anytime you come.
If I'm them, I'll be real, dude. I know you paid Cousins, but
you need a full year before you come off an Achilles.
Let Penix rock.
They're not gonna let Penix rock with that.
I'm a penny guy, man.
That 100 something.
No, I get that. But why pay him that? Like they shouldn't even got that.
Well, I think they wanted Penix to lead them in. They're in no rush to win. They're not a team that has a window.
I like Bijan though.
I do love Bijan. I do love Drake London. I think Kyle Pitts obviously.
I love Kyle Pitts.
Kyle looks a little bit better.
It's just been rough, man.
He looks better. He looks
does.
good in this game with a quarterback that's actually able to get him the ball. He scored a touchdown. I see him have at least 2-3 catches
Eagles
with my bare eye.
Eagles are weird, man.
The
Good
Eagles,
roster,
I think, have regressed.
Dude.
Obviously, Cowboy fans, so you're gonna think this is hate, but I think they regressed.
No, but I agree with you.
I think they regressed.
I agree.
Their linebacking core is dog shit.
Agreed.
Their safeties,
losing Hassan Reddick was big.
Huh?
Losing Hassan Reddick was big. That guy's a dog.
Is big. Absolutely.
That guy's a dog.
Jordan Davis has not stepped up and been the guy that they.
They lost
they lost
CJ Gardner 2 years ago.
They added him back.
Oh, they got him back now.
But he got fucking juked out of his shoes week 1 and gave up a touchdown. I'm not a huge CJ Gardner fan anyway. In general,
I do like Saquon.
He's a little bit overrated. It's cool. He puts a ski mask on, and everybody's like, "Cool, he's got a ski mask. He's sniper gang or whatever the fuck they think he is." Like, cool.
It's a lot of act.
He's not. It's a lot of just like cool. Thinks he's cool. He's. Not
I think
really
Jalen Hurts has also regressed.
Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna say he regressed as a player, but having to deal with 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years is tough, especially for a guy that's evolving at the quarterback position. He didn't come in as a polished quarterback.
No.
He was a later, what was his third?
Yeah.
I think he was a third round pick. He wasn't looked at as the top quarterback in a draft or one of those top guys. At Alabama, when he started, he was just a running quarterback. He was just a guy that would run the ball. And then obviously at Oklahoma expanded his game, and he's gotten better over time and stuff. But having to deal with 3 different quarterbacks or 3 different OCs will stunt your growth as a guy. And Kellen Moore, I'm very familiar with as the Cowboys' former OC for many years. I think there's going to be trouble at some point in Philly. Maybe not yet, but they're going to have to lean on Saquon. I think they're gonna have to lean on Saquon
He's a
for a little
workhorse.
bit
You got to.
and let Saquon do what he's
And you got dogs at
supposed
receivers
to been
though.
doing since he got in the league. They got such a great offensive line,
And
Saquon,
your receiving core is.
They got to lean on that.
Your receiving core is legit.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a lot of stuff.
Kellen
Moore loves these hitch routes and these little inside routes.
It's nice when like if
AJ Brown don't like that shit.
No, yeah, I get you, but like at least if like you're going
it's
through
not a problem yet.
If you're going through growing pains and you got AJ Brown and fucking Devontae Smith on the outside with Saquon in the backfield, I'll take that any day.
Eagles absolutely dog walk them, I think.
Yeah, I think they dog walk them too.
Probably not an exciting game. Maybe a game that you would probably look.
I actually think it might
props.
be an uglier game than you think. Like I think the Eagles win easy, but I don't think it's like, oh my god, Eagles look great. Like I think it's going to be like, maybe like a 27.
I think it's a game that we
27-17.
I think it's a game that we can catch some good player props, considering that I think the Eagles are going to be able to drive the ball very easily and score the ball very easily. But I also think the Falcons can take advantage of some of the mismatches that they do have against the Eagles, not necessarily to win the game, but to stat pad a little bit. I think there's going to be some good player props that we can probably scout out for that game.
Could be a Bijan game.
It could be a Bijan game. It could be a Drake London game.
The thing about Bijan that kills me,
there's guys. The secondary isn't that great with the Eagles.
The thing that kills me about Bijan, I talked about my boys, like he gets stats, but he doesn't get in the end zone.
Nah, but also last year you got to remember that they were giving a lot of those handoffs to Algier for some reason. I don't know why they didn't want to.
Yeah, he had like 9 touchdowns.
He's a powerful guy and he can bounce it and he can get it. I'm not sure why they don't use him in the red zone that much, but
yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think Eagles win, obviously.
I
just think Atlanta's bad. I don't think Philly's bad. I think they're just figuring out a lot of stuff still. They obviously, roster-wise, they're like a top 5 roster, in my opinion.
The Eagles?
League. Yeah.
I think offensively they're one of the top rosters, right. Obviously.
Defensively, maybe not so much.
We've yet to see how it's going to go with Kellen. We'll see how that matches. Like I said, I think it takes a little bit of time, especially when you're dealing with that many offensive coordinators changing over. So we'll see. I think they picked it up from where they left off as far as what they've been. Interesting, though, with Kelsey being gone now and the tush push thing. I guess we've seen it work, but we also seen Jalen fumble one. That's something to keep your eye on for the rest of the season with the Cam Jurgens being being center and seeing how that continues on. Because Kelsey's they were so successful with that. And if they do continue to run that even on 4th and 2, because they would run that 4th and 2, 4th and 3 last year.
Yeah.
Like they weren't afraid to run that even not just on 4th and 1 or 4th and inches.
100%. So
that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, that's what we got for you guys for week 2.
Hurts his ass, I believe that as well. As a Cowboy fan. I won't say his ass. I don't want to say his ass, but he's dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
3 OCs is a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a very lot.
It is.
And Kellen Moore has a weird, complex option route type of offense where a lot of things are curls, a lot of things are comebacks. It's a lot of shit to know.
There's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a lot of moving pieces, and it doesn't come together right away.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
It doesn't come together.
It's going to take time. Obviously, we think they win that game against Falcons. Falcons aren't very good. We'll see if they can get something going, but didn't show us much at home against the Steelers. Steelers obviously got a good defense, but 10 points at home, I mean, give me a break. You just gave the guy $100 million. Like, come on. So that's our slate for week 2. We obviously gave you guys some college rundown picks. Zach talked to you guys about UFC. We had the 2K talk earlier on in the podcast. Went overtime today, but we had a lot of good conversation. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will get this episode uploaded on YouTube for you guys and put up sometime tomorrow. We will get clips and a lot of stuff done and put up as well all throughout all our different social media channels. So mods, if you can do !SND, you guys go follow the channels. Whatever you guys prefer, even if it's one of them, drop a follow. It means a lot. We got Jersey's Discord posted as the pin.
The Parlay J Discord.
Yeah, pop in there. Free picks.
We dropped the parlay tonight for MLB. We are currently 3 legs down out of our 4. We're waiting on the Cubs plus 2.5 to close us up for a nice parlay today. So far, so good. We do baseball. We do football. We do WNBA. Shit, I might throw you a Korean baseball.
NBA's coming up.
And if you could bet it, I'll give you something for it.
NBA's coming also. That'll be
and it's all free for now, so take advantage. Yep. I'm trying to give back to the community. Yep. And I want everybody to win. I want to win with you guys. And
I tail his picks. So get in there with me. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, it's free. It's free picks. Jump in there. Like I said, I tail my man for NFL picks. I might be in there giving some college picks eventually. So yeah, tap in there. It's free picks. Follow it. You don't lose anything. Obviously, you're not paying $50 a month like a lot of these other Discords. Right. So jump in there, give it a try.
And when we do get it up to a big enough community that I feel like I want to be able to charge a subscription fee, it won't be anything crazy. I see a lot of these guys. I see guys charging $150 a week.
At that point, but at that point, like you're making bread.
Yeah, no, I understand that you can make a lot of money doing that, but
the guys coming in that are getting your picks,
right?
You know what I'm saying,
right. Of course,
they're making bread. So he's all about, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but growing credibility.
Absolutely,
giving back.
I've been handicapping since I was 10 years old, so I'm not new to this. It's not like the apps were the first time I gambled. I've been gambling with live bookies since I was a child.
In the trenches,
creating names and voices or whatever I had to do to gamble. I used to fucking actually have to do it. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And I want everybody to win. I know how it is. If you may be gambling with a big amount of bread and you want to win a big bankroll, or you may be gambling and you got a little bit and you want to stack it up and you want to, maybe you just want an extra $200 to bring your girl out, or maybe you want an extra $100 to just have groceries or whatever it is.
Sir.
We got to give those picks out for free. We got to let the people eat. I'm going to give you good quality picks. I'm doing the research, so you don't have to do it. I'm doing the knowledge. So I'm doing
$5-10 picks here and there. You know what I mean?
Nothing's ever a lock in gambling. Nothing is ever a for sure. But like I said, the first 2 weeks that we've started the Discord, we've been up at least plus 12.5 units. Both times we're up 25 units for the week. Anytime you're plus in gambling is great. 25 units is a lot. If you're doing a unit measurement of 100, you're up 2,500 in 2 weeks. You can't be mad at that.
No, never.
That's nothing to be mad at. So tap into the Discord.
Yeah. Give it a run. Give it a try. Like I said, I'll be in there. I follow his picks as well. So we'll have Jersey on more. We're gonna do more of these sports segments as we go. We'll obviously do a lot of like our gaming niche side, but we'll also finish off with a lot of sports. We have NBA obviously coming up, so we'll cover NBA, we'll cover NFL, we'll talk college. Shit, we may even throw in some college basketball for you college basketball guys. I'm a big March Madness guy, so love to do that type of stuff. So we went over today. We were supposed to go 7-9, but fuck it, man. We ran it over. We had a good time. It was a good show. Enjoyed the conversations. I appreciate all you guys popping out. Like I said, you guys go drop into Jersey's Discord. Give it a run. Follow us on all socials. I will be back for episode 4 on Friday. Still working out that episode. I may be back in between Friday doing like just me playing 2K. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on social media. As always, though, Mar, appreciate you sticking in and helping run the show. Much love there on that end. You guys that tuned in tonight, thank you. We'll have the episode up tomorrow with clips going out all throughout the week. We'll have Jersey tagged in on all the clips as well, so you guys can follow him on social media outside of his Discord. So, again, guys, appreciate it. Much love. I will see you guys back Friday. Mar, take us home, brother. Peace.
Peace.
Cool.